Flight procedures.
Go.
Inco.
Go.
FAO.
We are go.
Network.
Go.
Recovery.
Go.
Capcom.
We're go flight.
Launch control, this is Houston. We are go for launch.
Roger that, Houston. We have liftoff. Houston, we have cleared the tower in 13.
Our time has come. Shido Global, our time has come. We have waited patiently. We have watched. We have witnessed over the last 12 months the bears who have been in complete and utter control of this market. And patiently, we have waited. We have dollar cost averaged, bought the dips, watched from the sidelines, wondered, when will it end? When will our time begin? Today is the moment that the lessons we've learned begin to pay off. Today is that moment we have been waiting for. February 7th, the Golden Cross. Today, it all begins for those of us ready for the bull run. Let's talk about it.
Think they
I
changed
bought
the
it
logo.
too. I bought it.
Let's see it.
I
Let's
bought
see
it. Good move. Very good move.
Let's see it.
Let's see it.
And we pulled
When
up
did it come
Ushi.
out, B-Roots? Did I miss that?
Yeah, you're
No,
fishing.
you wait. No, you heard
Me,
the
you, and
original
Croat.
one. You
Me,
heard
and
the
Croat.
original one, and then it came back on.
And then that's when you bought?
I bought. Yeah, it's probably the best chart in crypto.
That's right. The best chart in crypto. Welcome back, guys, ladies and gentlemen, to Shido Global, episode 15 with my co-host, Arno St. Pierre. Tonight we got a lot to talk about. But before we dive into Shido and the Golden Cross and the market and what the expectations are moving from today, February 7th, to the end of February, into what is looking to be the beginnings of the bull market, Arno would like to take a little bit of time to talk about a special project that he is really passionate about, that wanted to share it with you guys tonight, and I'm more than happy to give him the mic and platform to talk about that project. So, without further ado, Arno, go ahead and introduce the project, give us the rundown of what you're talking about, and we'll go from there.
All right, how's everybody doing out there? Hopefully, doing very, very well. Project I want to talk to you guys about tonight is Cubebase.net. Now, I want to keep this short and sweet, and I want to focus on all the things that's important to you as an investor, so you know why you should buy and what you could expect after you buy. I took the time. I read the white paper on this project. It just launched about 2 weeks ago. The project is dealing with being a launch pad for launching cryptocurrency projects. Now, what that really means is that from the way the tokenomics are set up with this is that people will have to, project developers will have to purchase the token, which will then allow them to be able to launch on the launch pad to be able to have their projects deployed. Now, the significance of this is that the supply on this token is only 850 million, 1 billion max, but 15% has been locked away. So you have 850 million available for trading. Most of those tokens have already been bought up. I believe right now the dev said there are about 14% around right now on PancakeSwap available. So the supply has gotten extraordinarily gobbled up. And with the tokenomics in play, it de-incentivizes massive sell-offs and incentivizes holding because there is max wallet practices, which I believe is going to be the way of crypto, policing itself and making sure that you don't have all of these shady whale tactics being done on projects early in the going, which I think is very responsible. Their max wallet right now is 2%. And with the ability to have reflections coming in, not the token itself, but Binance USD stablecoin, up to 8% on all sales and buys cumulatively based on volume. Now, the volume right now is low, but as volume goes up, those returns will be good. I can go ahead and give you a flat estimate. Say if you were holding about 1% of the supply, which wouldn't be too difficult to do right now at the price it is. I believe the price right now, if you can bring up the charts on that, the charts I had on that, I believe it should be about 3013. If you were just to get 1% supply at about
It's actually
100.
Hey Arno, real quick to interject on, it's actually 4092 at the moment.
Okay, it took a dip from the charts I had. If you can go ahead and show the charts that I had though from post date, that's actually
Yeah, I can pull that chart up.
good buying opportunity for you people.
So this is a 12-hour chart of it.
Right, that's the charts that I gave you because I wanted to talk about those. I like to use post date charts as well for a comparison to show where action had taken place and give people a good idea of what they can expect. Yeah, we have pulled back right now, which is a good opportunity to buy. But if you were to get 1% stake, which is very easy to do right about now, at about 100K volume, you would be pulling down somewhere around $22,000 a month in BS and Binance USD reflections. So I think it's a great opportunity, and the fact that the token supply is very, very small and their use case is going to be, I think, a pretty reputable one. And the fact that this token is making overtures to be listed to be a shadow chain token when they get their project deployed. So I definitely want to go ahead and support that. So the website is down there at cubebase.net. I would employ everybody to go down there and read the white paper and give it a good look over. The contract address is down there in the
comment section down below.
Down the comment section below, and go ahead and check it out. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good judge of character on projects and what projects need to have going forward to be successful. And I see a lot of meat in this project. So.
Awesome. No, I have to say, I am personally not in Cubase at this time, but I am considering a position. I don't do a lot of trading on BNB just because I have difficulties getting some of that acquainted, and it's just not what I'm used to. But it is a very, very good-looking project, and it is something that a lot of our private community talk about.
Who don't understand how BNB. There are people that understand how BNB works. It's really not a complicated process. It's just simply getting the same way you would get Ethereum, same way you would get BNB. I mean, even if you for instance, I use crypto.com to buy it directly. You can also use Trust Wallet, or you can also just go ahead and do it the old-fashioned way. Go ahead and get yourself a token, send it to an exchange directly for BNB, and then send it back to your wallet and then acquire Cubase token in your wallet. It's not a complicated process. I understand there are people out there that
it's more steps than what I used to do.
I don't want to create any type of fear about buying BNB. Like it's this, complicated process, which is not.
Well, I'm not trying to create fear on it. I'm giving you my personal view of it.
Yeah, but we've talked about this. I know your history, and I respect that. But getting BNB is not it's not the headache that people sometimes think it is. It's there are people out there that really don't even understand that BNB is something like, for instance, you can get it directly in Trust Wallet. I actually just figured I was talking to Shido. I believe it was Shido Queen. She talked about she can get it through Trust Wallet. I didn't even know that because I've been getting it for the longest through Crypto.com. So it's even more ways to get it directly. So I didn't even know that. But like BNB, it has so many pairings out there. I mean, it's so easy to get into. It's you can. Well, I think KuCoin, you can just slide in there and get directly on with so many direct pairings, so it's fairly easy. But yeah, Cubase.net, check it out, people. Go to the website, give it a look over. Be pleasantly surprised with what you find.
Perfect. Well, guys, you heard it from Arno down below. I did throw all the information down in the comment section of this AMA. So by all means, it's a project that a lot of the Shadow community is invested in, which is why we talk about it on this platform. It is a project that has warranted attention because a lot of our investors, just like Alcazar, which is I'm going to speak on momentarily, also has a lot of our mutual Shadow investors. So those are all good things we like to see. So Arno, thank you for the introduction to Cubase. Again, it's cubase.net. I'd encourage you guys to take a look at the white paper. Definitely DYOR. Nothing said here is financial advice to anybody. Chart looks relatively healthy, very healthy. I mean, I'm on the month chart. If we go to the hour chart real quick. I mean, hour chart's red, but you can't go by that. 409262. $333 would get you 3.57 million cube currently. So I don't know what the 2% allotance is to make it at the 2% supply, but hey,
charts that I had posted too. Real quick, could you go to the ones could you go to the ones that I gave you? Those are the ones I really want to focus on.
Yeah, I went over the first one.
Just a moment, just for a quick second here.
Yeah. There's the weekly chart for you.
Okay, can you zoom in on that a little bit more, or is that the best we got going on?
You have a delay. Just give it a moment.
All right, cool. Well, to everybody watching at home, that first green candle to the left is the open, and the bottom wick, that was the bottom. And as you can see, that got 8 right back up. And right now, from a post-date standpoint, that third small candle is where we're at right now. Okay, and keep in mind, it's only 850 million tokens, and then it's a utility token. It's going to have to be fundamentally used on the launch pad for projects to have to launch their projects through their portal, which I think is a very splendid idea. And the fact that they're practicing max wallet, which I think is going to be necessary for crypto to go forward to keep healthy price floors going forward, because it de-incentivizes well dumping. And you can't. Yes, I understand there are people out there that why I should be able to get as much as I want when I want, but at the same time, if you come into a project and you have a healthy position of even just 2 to 3%, you're almost guaranteed a good payout if you're early and you understand what the project is doing for the long term. So it really doesn't hurt you. So right now, I believe the max wallet right now is 2%, and that roughly is a max of around 17 million tokens. Now, this, just to give people an idea, 17 million tokens, you get that to about 10 cents, which I think is very, very doable for this token, based on the supply being very short and the utility stress is going to be put on it with the developers having to buy the token, by which the dev has already told me. I've been talking with him. He says the idea is to buy the token back and then purge those tokens that were given off back to the dev after the sell to launch goes off. So those tokens will be fundamentally burnt off after those sales, and then of course going forward, the necessary amount to be able to have your token launched will go down because the price will go up. So obviously you have a price squeeze. So I think it's a great prospect, and I'm in. I bought, as you can see, I bought that. I stayed up to 3:30 in the morning getting that dip to get a good position. So after I read the white paper, so I made sure I didn't miss this one.
All right. Well, Arno, appreciate your rundown of Cube. And then, guys, obviously, of course, please make sure you do your own due diligence. Never take our word for never take our word on a project unless you do your own research. So we'll leave it at that. But we'll close those out, and I do want to touch real quick before we dive into Shido, and I know you guys, some of you were probably not expecting us to speak on a few other projects today, but that's okay. These are all projects that share a commonality with Shido. So we are going to give them their absolute moment because they do deserve that. And then we'll dive into our major topics for tonight. What I wanted to bring to everybody's attention is the fact that Alcazar is now on the BNB chain. As you guys know, Alcazar is my second baby next to Shido. I am in the top 20 of holders in that project. I work very diligently and stay in close communication with James, the dev of the project. Oh boy, there's a lot that I can't say, but there is what I can say. And what I can tell you is that right now we are prospecting business partners and venture partnerships for the gambling side of Alcazar. Some of you know that is coming, some of you do not. If you listen to our AMAs and you are, could you mute your mic, Arno? I can get some feedback. Thank you, sir. If you listen to the AMAs and you are in the Telegram, then you will know that side of Alcazar is coming. But we did go ahead and come across to the BNB chain. Now, what's important to know is Alcazar did not mint a new supply for BNB. It is a absolute shared supply on both chains. So the total supply of Alcazar, which, give me a second here. I had it written down and I ended up losing my notepad. So I'm just going to, I don't want to give you guys the wrong info. So we're just going to get it right from the source. Give me one moment while I hunt it down. Shadow Queen, if you know the exact supply off the top of your head without me doing all this digging real fast, that would be great to know. I don't know if James has it on the website. I would assume he does. Why can I not find it now? Well, he just revamped the website, so I am going to find it. I think it's 580 million, but 580 or 570 million. It's in the ballpark. It's right around the same with Keybase. But anyways, outside of that, you can always ask that technical question, and it'll get answered in the Telegram chat. That small supply is now being shared across both chains. There is a third chain coming. It has not been announced which chain, but there is a third chain coming. So for you guys who are wanting to get in on this, because this all comes into the conversation tonight about the Golden Cross, February 7th, and what's currently happening in the market. Your time is running out to get into these projects cheaply. And that timestamp is kind of about 19 to 24 days. It's coming up real quick. Now, we'll talk more about that when we dive into Shido, but the initial point of conversation for you guys to know, if you want to get into Alcazar, I will also link that information in this video down below, and I'll edit those links during the video. Oh, here we go. Boom. So we had 1 billion Alcazar tokens minted at launch, 400 million Alcazar tokens burnt at launch, 200 million Alcazar tokens. Okay, so 400. Okay, yep. So there it is. There's the facts of the pudding. So it's less than I thought. My point is that is squeezed along 2 chains coming to 3 chains. You have the raffling side of it coming as well. Okay, there it is. Okay, yeah. I was like, that didn't seem right. 583,055,693. There's the total. Thank you, Queen. So 583 million is what Alcazar's got. That's what I thought I was saying. 200 million seems a little low. Anyways, point being, 2 chains coming on 3. We got the raffle side that's coming here very soon. The D app is weeks away. I can tell you that the D app is complete. There has been a demo video of the D app published on Twitter. Go follow Alcazar Token if you have not on Twitter. You'll see that video, or follow me. It's on my page as well. But no, we are waiting on the final review of the hack and audit before the D app goes live. D app is slated for this month. No ETA, no dates will be given. We do not want to set a precedent that cannot be delivered on if there is a delay. But so far, that doesn't appear to be the case. DApp is working great. In fact, if you look on the website, you can start to see some raffles that are already starting to appear. So keep that in mind. More information will come as all of this gets rolled out. But you got Cubase, great project presented to you by Arno tonight. You got Alcazar, fully backed by me and a lot of people in the Shadow community. Wonderful project. Not financial advice. Do your own research. I've got a bag. I would encourage you to go do your research and make a decision if you want to get it back. Outside of that,
if I can chime in on Alcazar a little bit, I want to go ahead and give my
Yeah.
stamp of approval because I believe Alcazar is going to be a wonderful project. I don't
Sure,
have,
go ahead, Arno.
I don't have this. Just because I don't have a huge position doesn't mean I'm not going to give my endorsement on a project that's just because I don't have a great position on it. I'm more concerned about what the project is doing, and if it's a good idea for someone who does have the ability to come in and have a good price impact on the price it is right now. And not financial advice, but based on everything that I know about Alcazar, I think it's one of the better investment plays you can make right now in crypto. That's just my personal opinion of everything that I've seen thus far and talking with the dev behind the scenes on what he's told me. Again, I can't say anything as well, but nonetheless, I think Alcazar has a great potential to run because there's a very, how can I put it? I guess I just call it, it's a very, there's a social momentum aspect to Alcazar that no one's really talking about. I think it's going to be unleashed in the following months. Once Alcazar really gets his foothold and gets the fun factor on what we bring into crypto, I think in that aspect, its price per token is going to go up very, very, very well. And right now, with it being fractional, it would be wise to at least have a foothold in there. I know I do. I haven't sold any of mine. I don't have near a great impact as I would like to, but nonetheless, I think Alcazar is going to make a pretty good output for me. So I'm holding my token long term.
Yeah, very well said, Arno. Very well said. Well, with that introduction tonight of these two projects, that's the first 15 minutes of our AMA. We allotted that for Keybase and Alcazar. Now, let's. Okay. Yeah, give me a second here. I was going to say let's move on, but we got a comment here. I will answer this. Magic Cruz says, could you please give me a summary of Alcazar or its utilities? I'll try to read more about it. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Me and Arno will both touch on this. So I will kind of give you my perception and what I see Alcazar doing, and then I'll give Arno the mic here and let him run with his perception of what he's seeing. So Alcazar is a token that wants to give you, the holder, an opportunity to change your life in ways that no other project's doing in the DeFi crypto sphere. Basically, James is doing raffles. Now, if you go back to the website, let me pull it up here real quick. Hold on a second. There we go. So if you go back to the website and you go down, you look at the section here for raffles. We're going to have a D app that's going to be built into the website. And what that D app is going to do is allow you to, with your debit credit card, go in and buy a raffle ticket, very much like you would a lottery ticket if you live in the U.S. I'm not sure what you call them over in Europe or Asia. Those can differ. But if you live in the U.S., it's like a Powerball or a lottery ticket, right? So let's see, for instance, one of the things that Alcazar is going to raffle away is 1 Bitcoin. If you've been following the charting, right now you might say, oh, cool, a Bitcoin, it's $25,000. Okay, understand, at the all-time high, last bull run, 1 Bitcoin was worth $69,000. There's a potential that this bull run we see over $100,000 Bitcoin. So let me break this down to you. For $19.99, right around 20 bucks, you could buy a ticket, a chance that your ticket gets drawn and you win that 1 Bitcoin. There's also going to be luxury items like Rolexes, vehicles, expensive real estate positions, other coins, trips. All kinds of different things are being raffled. I can tell you there are some Teslas going. There's a Porsche going. There is 1 Bitcoin. There is luxury trips. There's a $1 million raffle. I don't know exactly what the ticket prices are going to be because they may differ based on what raffle there is, but they will be reasonable. And you can go in with your debit credit card, just like you would an online purchase, and buy a ticket. Now, the cool part is you can buy as many tickets as you want up to the amount that's in the pool. So let's say for the 1 Bitcoin, James says, hey, I'm going to allot 40,000 tickets. When the 40,000th ticket is sold, no more entries can happen. Then, on that date, the D app will automatically raffle. There'll be a cool little animated lion. You can see him right up here, this guy right up here, but he's animated. And he's going to pull out of the jar, he's going to pull a ticket number, and it's going to pop up and show the ticket for that raffle. And then there's going to be an option for you to claim that ticket. If you are the winner and you can validate your claim, you will win that prize. So the D app is really, really innovative. That's one side of it. Then you have the gambling casino aspect. So you are going to have another cool aspect to it. And they're working with some of the top online gambling partners that are out there to develop this and bring it into DeFi. This is a social token. You can say, okay, gambling, Lucky Roo does that. Yes, but Lucky Roo is totally different than what is being designed here with Alcazar. Alcazar is giving you the best of both worlds in one token, one project. And if you're a holder of the coin, you're going to benefit from the FOMO, the people that want to get in on holding the project. And as Arno said, even if you don't have a massive holding position, if you got in before this becomes unfractionalized, you're going to make a very, very decent profit. Alcazar will mint millionaires. It will mint 100,000 heirs. And it will give anyone holding it that has 1,000 tokens or more an opportunity to change their lives. I think if you hold 1,000 Alcazar, you're in a very healthy position. If you hold millions of Alcazar, you're in a position for your life to completely change. But no matter where you are on the holder list, the most important part is you're holding your Alcazar. I can't go into more detail. I have more I could say, but I can't because I just can't. I can't talk about those aspects. I can tell you that there are some big exchanges that are coming. There is a lot of exposure. There's a lot of marketing. There's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes for you, the investor, to make you a very profitable position in this project. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Arno and kind of let him give you his 2 cents.
Yeah, I think Alcazar is going to be a great opportunity because of those factors, with the raffles and all that. It's really, and it's funny that we're talking about a social token so liquidly. It's very liquid and fluid. That's why social tokens, I think, always run faster than utility tokens. Which there's a lot of things you can talk about. Like for instance, you said you can't talk about all the things with Alcazar, whereas I can talk about pretty much everything with Cubebase.net because it's a utility token essentially, and it's going to basically, I think, in a lot of ways, it's going to really run to levels of price that Alcazar probably won't see. But nonetheless, Alcazar's mission is so community based that to talk about is so fluid. When you're talking about potentiality for winning 1 Bitcoin, winning cars, watches, and other expensive items and such. So I think it's going to be a wonderful project in the long term, and just bringing people in just to have fun in crypto, and give people an opportunity to go ahead and, like you said, have opportunities to change their life in other ways in crypto. Kind of like, it's kind of like I talked to James. I say you're basically trying to create the Price is Right of the cryptocurrency space. That's what it looks like to me. So I think it's going to be a wonderful token going forward.
It really is. And he's timed this so perfectly with the start of the bull run, with the end of this bear market, the recovery that we've been in for the last roughly 30 days, and the pinnacle point we've had today moving forward in the charts. It's really impressive, not just Alcazar, but Shido, Cubebase, and Alcazar all timed this. You couldn't have timed this any better. You couldn't have timed your launch and your development any better than these 3 projects have. And again, why we talk about them on this channel is because we're all mutual investors in these three projects. Outside of Cube, I will be getting a bag, despite my reservations of BNB. I will definitely get a bag. But my point is, for me, when I look at this, I look at three devs that said, okay, we know that the end of the bear market is coming. Let's get going. Let's get to work. Let's work hard so that when that bull run happens, we're primed to take key advantage of it. Cubase is going to take advantage of it. Alcazar is absolutely going to slay the bull run. Shido is going to do things I don't think we've ever seen a token in DeFi do, next to Shiba. And I'm not going to compare Shido to Shiba in any way. I don't want to be that project that tries to claim that. But what I would say is that from a utility standpoint, I think Shido was going to do unheard of things in the crypto space. And they're all going to start this year, and they're not going to slow down. They're not going to stop. And as we transition this conversation into Shido, one of the first statements I'd like to make there is knowing that your position is safe, right? Because Arno can attest to this. A lot of people, especially that invested in meme coins, it's great through the bull run, but when that bear market rears its ugly head again in that 2 to 3 year cycle, and you hit that BTC top, right, and you start to see that downward trend, that's where you better figure out, okay, I need to stable, I need to get out of my meme coins because they're going to crash, right? The difference between a meme token and a utility token is the utility token is driven and it's governing the project. So even if, let's say, Shido goes to my magic number of $2.54, okay, and we hit the next bear market, I could still see Shido holding a price point of 80 to 75 to 80 to 90 cents all through the bear market, because what's it doing? It's governing the projects. What do you say about that, Arno?
Well, I say about it, hey, I've said it before, I'll say it again. There's a reason why the water company, the electric company don't go out of business. You never hear them on CNN talking about bailouts. There's a reason for that. They're a necessity for our own ecosystem here on Earth to survive and thrive in the way life that we've achieved. Human beings don't go backwards. So therefore, that logic is commonplace there, and it's going to be commonplace in the crypto space. Anytime you have a token that's responsible for facilitating a way of life in the crypto space, that token goes up in value and sustains its value by its necessity. This is why tokens that are socially driven, with the exception of Alcazar, because Alcazar has a different modicum of a catalyst, because they're incentivizing people to keep using their token even when future bear markets do come, and they will. Alcazar's token will still have a use case that goes beyond that. The use case of, I could potentially win something. That in itself creates a reason to want to buy the token beyond just holding it because it looks cool, which is something that you can't depend on in down times. And bringing it back to what Cubase is going to be doing, I want to give people the understanding of what that is, what a launch pad is. Remember, this token is going to be on Shido Chain, and it's going to be responsible for launching projects through its portal on Shido Chain. That in itself is going to be I know it doesn't look like the most fantastic thing to someone looking outside, but understand what that means. It launches projects on a blockchain through its own portal. Now, the projects themselves will have to buy the token and then launch their project through their portal on Shido Chain. So you as a Shido holder and then potentially a Cubase holder are winning both ways. Then you get a triple play if you're holding out, because I'm holding all three of these things. Okay, I'll tell you right now, Arnold St. Pierre ain't missing the boat of nothing. I like to think that at this point in my life in crypto, I've been around the space a long time. I think I know how to vet a token. Not financial advice, but I know what to look for. And these three tokens all comprise different aspects of crypto that I think are needed and wanted by the people and by developers. We're covering all aspects here, people. And that's what it's really about. That's how you really, people talk about being diversified and all that stuff, but nobody ever talks about being diversified by what the utility and what the brand of the crypto is going to be doing. They're always talking about getting the price and getting this, but nobody ever talks about being diversified in terms of utility. The real people in life who really make money diversify based on and sectors. You got people who have a foothold in the energy fulfillment business, product fulfillment business, entertainment. That's what we're doing. I consider Shido to be a product fulfillment part of it. I consider Alcazar to be entertainment. I consider Cubase to be that for developers primarily. This is what it means to be truly diversified with your portfolio, in my opinion. When you're not just going after, oh, this is a low price, this is a low price, this is a low price. It's more about what those tokens are going to be doing and understanding what they're going to be doing. So you can protect your gains in the future. Because I can tell you right now, everybody's throwing around fantastic words like Golden Cross and all of this and everything. But understand this, it comes down to one simple factor. A recovery phase and then a bull run is triggered by those two things. You have to have people who have made a position previously and that market ran its course. Then you go into your pullback when people taking profits. Then you get the DCAing. That's your recovery with new money coming in. And then you reach your point to where everything has gone back to standard. And then you run like crazy exponentially because you're not coming in with old money. You're coming back in with new money on top of old money that's been stacking that entire time. That's essentially what this whole Golden Cross is. And quite frankly, Bitcoin gets to, I'm segueing here to something into the future, but Bitcoin right now gets to about 3 to 4 grand above its price right now. It will run to 33 grand. And after that, all hell's going to break loose. All hell's going to break loose. Not financial advice, but I've been talking about this for the last 6 months. To anybody listen, anybody that will listen, I can tell you this. It's playing out the same way it played out back in 2017 when I first came into the space, when I didn't know any better, when I went back and backtracked this thing. And right now, BTC and the market that it's looking right now, and if you notice, altcoins are struggling. BTC is holding. That's a sure sign. Okay, that's a sign. When altcoins struggle and BTC is holding, and keep in mind, BTC right now has been overbought for the last several weeks. I believe it's going on 6, maybe 7 weeks strong overbought. That is a sure indicator that the people, remember, that's what I just said. DCAing, dollar cost averaging, is what triggers your recovery. Being overbought is a sign of that DCA action. Okay, when people are steadily putting money in despite the price being inflated, that's a sign. And it's by all rights, it should have dumped weeks ago, but it hasn't because people are believing it. And as soon as we get over, I believe we get about 4 grand above the value that it is right now on the exponential moving average. Which, if you can bring that chart up, Bob, please, if you got it.
Yep. Well, I got it right here on crypto coin market cap, and I'll pull it up. I'll pull up the actual chart. Yeah, I'll pull it up. Give me just a second.
Yeah.
All right. So on TradingView right now, you can see right now it is at. Let's see. What do you want? Do you want the 1 day? You want the monthly? What do you want?
Monthly's the one that's going to tell the story.
Okay. All right. Here's your monthly chart. I can't bring it up much bigger than that.
That's perfect. That's pretty much that's exactly what I have. But you don't have my. If you guys can imagine, there's a white that line. If you can go right to the tip right there. If you guys can imagine, see what that green square is, people. Do you have my Bitcoin up there, I send you? That's the one where I have all my the margins.
You didn't send me a Bitcoin one.
I think I put it in the shadow chat though. So, but I think the people that
that's all right. You're wanting the moving average is what you're wanting, right? So let me just put the indicator on there
for the margins where Bitcoin is going to when it reaches certain peaks. Just put the EMA in there.
Yeah, that's what I just put it in there. You're good.
Okay, cool. That's all we really need for now. Then I can go off. Now, once we get above that, now if you can go ahead and see, now you see where that peak was before the skew off.
Mm-hmm.
Once we're about 4 grand above where we're at right now, Bitcoin's going to run to at least about 33 grand. and then it's going to probably most likely go to 50 something, and then go from
Well,
there.
let me touch on that last little part you put right there, because you're going right into where I want to go with the Golden Cross. So, give me a second here. Let me pull this up a little bit more. So what Arno is indicating right here. So this is your EMA, right? So as you guys can see, let me move back up a little bit. If you look right here, you can see where we came up. We tested right here. We got denied. Okay, we came back up. We tested. We got denied. Tested. Got denied. Got denied. Then we fell under. So you can see right here how far under we fell from the EMA, right? It was just nowhere near up on this line. Then you got right here. This was your pressure cooker moment. This has been our run, right? So you got all the way up here. You built so much bullish momentum that you didn't just peek your head up out of the EMA. You bursted all the way through the EMA. Now, that's a bit of an understatement, considering the fact that we saw 3 doji candles on the daily for the last 6 weeks on Bitcoin. 3 bullish doji candles. That was your indicator, like Arno said, where the market was saying, this should be dumping, but it's pumping. As Arno said it so eloquently, the streets were talking, and the streets were saying we're pumping Bitcoin. And that's exactly what happened. Now, going into the Golden Cross, what was so important about that? And I'm going to show a couple screenshots just to kind of give a little bit of perspective here. Let me get this back up where we can see Bitcoin. Okay, so right now Bitcoin's at $23,269. I told everybody last week when you were watching the AMA, the one there where Arno was not able to join us, unfortunately, that if we held 22 to 23,000 Bitcoin and we did not dip down, we were going to see the Golden Cross on February 7th. Well, guess what? Ladies and gentlemen, you had your Golden Cross today, February 7th, and this is what happened. Let's take a look here. First of all, let's identify what a Golden Cross is so that everyone is understanding exactly what we're talking about. All right. So the Golden Cross is a term used in stocks and crypto. It is used to describe a situation in which the short-term moving average of a stock or crypto, such as the 50-day moving average, in this case we're talking about the 250-day moving average in crypto, crosses above its long-term moving average, such as the 200-day moving average. So, in essence, what you saw happen is we crossed above the 250-day moving average for the first time in 16 months.
Right. If you can pull that chart that I just sent you up, that's basically what I've been preaching for the last. Yeah, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, hold on. There we go.
The one is more simplified for you guys at home.
Oh, hang on a second. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah.
There we go, right there.
I even have the margin circled there where you guys can plainly see it, plain as day, for the newbie out there. It doesn't get any more dry than that.
So that is exactly. Funny enough, Arno's got this right on the head. Okay, so I'm gonna X that real quick. I'm gonna X out of this, as we all should now have an understanding of what the Golden Cross is, right? Like, this is pretty clear. It is when you rise above the 250-day moving average on the daily. That hasn't happened in 16 months. We've been that bearish. The bears have been in complete control of this market for 16 plus months, up until today. Now, with that being said, remember what Arno just said, 59,000, right? Let's take a look at the tweet. Pretty damn eerily close to Arno's prediction. Right here. Bitcoin just made a golden cross on the daily chart. This was today. The first golden cross after the last bear market led to a 154% increase. Bitcoin, imagine that right now. Okay, so this goes back to, I'm going to tie it back to Alcazar for a moment. We're giving you an opportunity to win 1 Bitcoin. Okay, so somebody might say, it's only $25,000. Okay, well, in less than 60 days, that 1 Bitcoin that you paid $20 and you won on could be worth $57,900. Now, outside of that cool aspect, understand what this means for the market. Arno and me have been telling you for the last month to 2 months, the market is in recovery. when 90% of the people are on the other side of the fence, you don't want to be where the sheep are, right? Okay, so everybody in this market right now, if you go on YouTube and you type in Bitcoin, everyone is going to tell you it's a trap, it's a bear trap, it's a fake out, it's going to drop to 10K. It is not going to drop to 10K. You are not going to see a 10K Bitcoin, I don't think, this cycle or the next cycle.
These YouTubers like to use sensationalism. What they do is they play on people's
Right.
hearts, and they go ahead with the smart, the moment-to-moment changes on Bitcoin and try to get hits. I see it. That's why I hate when people focus on buzzwords like golden cross and the Michael Sayers wave and all this other stuff. Like when it really gets
let's not hate on the golden cross indicator. I get what you're saying with that.
it's
If
not
they're
an
trying, well, the moving average is an indicator, and the golden cross is an indicator when it occurs. When people are trying to use it in a sensational aspect, yes, I 100% agree with you, and you're right. You're seeing people that are trying to do that, right? They're out there making, oh, Bitcoin's gonna crash to 14,000, and then a week later we're going to 32,000, right? Like we see it all the time.
The point that I'm trying to make here is that the simple fact is Bitcoin has to get above its moving average and hold it there significantly, and then then all that money that's been DCAing in gets compiled exponentially, and then you have your run. That's essentially what a golden cross. I want people to understand the fundamental, because when people say that, oh, golden cross, they just run with it and they don't understand what it truly means.
Well,
so it's easy
you didn't let me get to the end of explaining it.
Take advantage of that and manipulate people. Like there's not enough time being spent on like just making it simply put in terms of what it really means. That's what I want to focus.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's where I was going. You didn't give me the opportunity to finish where I was going with the golden cross, but that's okay. Because what I was trying to get across is, so February 7th, we've had the golden cross. That's today. I've given you the explanation of what it is. I'm showing you what's going to be the outcome. Now, you confirm it on the last day of this month's candle, which will be February 28th. If we make to February 28th, and we are holding the price of Bitcoin we are now or higher, and we do not have a retracement, you have confirmed that you've held the EMA. You've risen above and you've held it, and we've confirmed at that point the end of the bear market. So you've essentially got, what, 14 days? Something like that before let me see.
And to be honest with you, that could happen at any moment. That's why I say that you can't get wrapped up into this whole golden cross thing, because these shifts in price can happen at any moment. Remember, that new money can flow in. All you need is just one person to come in and trigger to get Bitcoin to get above $4,000 above its price. It will simply just, all that compiled buying X. Remember, there are so many limit orders out there. That's what I'm also getting at. Those limit orders that are being placed that will get triggered upon those buys coming, it'll just run up and then new money will just flow in. Nobody's talking about that aspect. Everybody's talking about golden cross and being so formulaic, because you got all these videos out there that are doing these how-tos, but they're not telling people the organic process of it. It can happen like really tonight. Like somebody can come in and move the price of Bitcoin $4,000 above EMA, and you're off to the races, brother.
You're right. No, I get that. I'm just trying to say the fundamental standpoint. We've seen the action occur today. I'm not going to trust it fully until it's confirmed on February 28th. That's 21 days from today. 21 days will tell the tale as to whether or not we are now officially into a bull cycle. But you're correct. Somebody could come in and pump it $4,000 above EMA, and if it holds, yes, technically at that point, we are in a bull cycle. But I'd still like to see it confirmed.
I guarantee you the smart people, they've got limit orders up the wazoo on exchanges.
Oh, they do.
Once that thing gets triggered, bro, it's going to go insane.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, you know for a fact that there's limit orders just waiting for the EMA. So the point, guys, here, and the point of this AMA tonight was to talk about where the market is, because what I'm seeing a lot of people freaking out about their positions, and I don't want you guys freaking out about your Shido, your Alcazar, your good quality projects that you're in, where you have got a massive stake, a massive percentage of the project. You guys have got to understand that until this all confirms, it is conjecture at this point, right? We can still see a retracement. A retracement is still in the cards. Now, understand, if Bitcoin retraces, which let's go back to this here real quick, just as a premise point. If Bitcoin was to retrace and retest its low, which was 16.5, that is not a bad thing. In fact, if it was to do that and retrace back down here to about this level right here. Let's see.
If you bring back the chart I had up that I posted, because that one to me tells more of the story, because you can really, really get into the meat of it.
Yeah, I can. Give me just a second to what I was trying to show here. Is I wanted to show the market structures, what I'm trying to get at of what we've built over the last. Give me a moment. Where the hell is? There we go. I want the last 6 months.
That's the chart. That's why you should bring that one up, because that's a monthly chart. That one really shows tells story. And with the margins on there, it makes it easier.
Yeah, just 1 second. There was a method I was trying to do here, but anyways, my point here, real quick before I pull up Arno's chart. So 16.5, 16.8, let's right around this ballpark. This was our bottom. This is where the bottom was in. If we were to fall back down and hit this, there is so much market structure down below this. There's no way that you're going to dip below 16.5. And what would happen is we would come down, you would test this bottom, you would test the structure, it would hold, we would confirm that hold, and then we would be off to the races. Going back to the chart that Arno was wanting me to pull back up here. Give me just a moment.
Yeah, because it's showing how our moving average is pointing upward on BTC, that you'll be fighting so much buy pressure to try to tank Bitcoin. It really wouldn't even be in your interest.
Right.
Like, look at if you can go down, if you can bring that up a little bit more, that's cool. If you people can look, you see those little squiggly lines there, those blue lines? Those are the moving averages of Bitcoin's resistance and support. And as you can see, they're skewing upward. It's on a slightly deviated cloak. And what that basically means that the price is moving upward on a spot price. But once you have the moving average and the moving resistance also moving upward, you're creating a buying channel. So it doesn't get any simple. And the closer those margins become, that means that they're basically reachable. I'm just making this simple for the working man at home. You get these margins within close to each other, they become reachable based on individual price movements. Once Bitcoin gets above that white line there significantly, you can see where it's going to run right to 33K easily. So it really makes it really simple for everyone at home to see. And this could happen at any moment, because remember, you have people out there who are, not to mention all the people who are longing and shorting Bitcoin, which I think is a real telltale sign. I think if you were to get on there and check out the mercantile exchange on BTC and see what the long positions are being set there, that'll be the real story. What's going to happen in the short term? You're not gonna. I mean, like I said, you can get someone right now that wants to go ahead and long Bitcoin and go ahead and move the price up about 4,000 per token. BTC, you can see, would easily run to 33 grand right there. It's as plain as day. It doesn't get any simpler than that. I mean, it's right there on the brim. And then from there, the margin the next will be 59 grand. And that people would be, that's a consolidation price, people. Because at that point, remember, the moving average on resistance and support is moving upward. So once you get into that new buying channel, your price is now trending in those price margins. That's what people are not telling you on these videos. They're just basically trying to give you spot prices and make people get hyped up about, this date here and this date. And that's cool. But it needs to be understated to people that why these things matter and how they happen. This is why I do not see in these YouTube videos and these sensationalist artists who one day they'll tell you Bitcoin's going to the moon one day, and the next day they're going to tell you, oh well, today it's going to pull it back. Hide your wives, hide your kids. You know, that's why I hate seeing out in the crypto space, and it's not good for us.
Right. Well, I mean, our topic tonight is not those individuals. I'm simply stating what the price action is showing. I get you don't like the words. I get that. But the words do merit some value.
Just the philosophy, because let's be honest, man, you have been reading a lot of this stuff and you're being moved by it, and that's good. But you don't have to where it's going to be going and how it could play out in moment-to-moment situations.
Okay. It's all good. It's all good. We'll move on from this aspect. My point here is tonight I came on the broadcast. I wanted to bring attention to this because I felt it needed to be discussed. And it has implications for where this market is going to go.
It's good, man. Yeah, that's
so let's dive into Shadow. So let's just kind of get the reins, move some stuff around here, and let's dive into Shadow. So if we're looking right now on Shadow, composite price action right now, we're at 30107. We are down 18.04% at this point. If you look here, though, and you look at the charting trending, what I want everyone to bring your attention to, stop freaking out about your investment. What do you see happening right there, Arna? That's on the daily. Just what do you see the chart?
Oh, I'm reading some of the comments here, seeing what they're saying, so I can.
Oh, we're going to get to comments in a second. We didn't have anyone
talking here. That's just a bunch of squiggly. Could you pull up the charts that I sent you? Because a lot of this stuff is just, if you don't have any indicators there, it's just price action, but it's just lines.
You're missing what I was trying to show here. It's consolidation. It's straight sideways consolidation. That's all I was trying to show from this. You've seen right here, right? We were up here at 1279. We dipped all the way down here to 407161. We've climbed it up, and we're consolidating. You can't see that on the, okay, well, that's right. Give me a minute.
Well, just tell me what it is. That's fine.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Is that the monthly or is that the weekly or?
I need a minute.
Take two.
Trying to get something figured out. I keep forgetting your device that you're viewing on, you can't see half of what I do. So I have to.
No, I see. It's just I just wanted to know what time period that was, because without that, it doesn't. You can show a bunch of lines on there, but if you don't have the period on there, it doesn't really give it context.
You were on the daily. It was coin market cap on the daily, showing the consolidation. That's what I was trying to get across. All right, so we got Arnold's charts up here. You're on the weekly. This is Shadow on the weekly. You see that? Okay, is it zoomed in enough for you?
I see it. Perfect. Because I think what needs to be talked about from the price action that's happened over the last 2 weeks. Let's talk about buy the rumor, sell the news mentality. Let's talk about that, because that's exactly what took place the last 2 weeks, my man. I mean, I'm gonna be like, I made a comment today in our chat, and I'm gonna be straight up. The way that the launch, and this is okay. Startups do this all the time. There was way too much emphasis put on the decks coming out, and it got people in the wrong frame of mind about what it really meant. When you have utility driven projects and you have launches of certain aspects, or not even so much launches, but just tools that come out that are a part of the bigger picture at whole, people have a tendency to run with that and think it's a big moon event. And then when it doesn't happen, because it's not, because the project isn't finished, you get people out here who want to sell the project short because they haven't taken the time to understand what's going to be going on. And if you look closely here at the last 2 weeks on our price, you can see, brother, we should be at the 3 level right now. We actually hit an all-time high that day of the DEX launching. And then once it came out, you had the capitulation, then you had the major sell-offs. But as you can see, our buying pressure is so strong. As you can see, anybody at home seeing that bottom blue line at the bottom there on the main chart, that's the moving support. Constantly moving up on Shadow. It's never deviated on any metric, whether it's daily, hourly, monthly, or even on the all-time. That sucker is constantly moving upward. This is why Shadow's price is hard to tank, because you have so many. One, you already know we have so many dedicated holders. Number two, You don't have any major dumping going on that could tank the price back down to astronomical levels because the price is not artificially inflated. But again, when you have buy the rumor, sell the news tactics being played out, and it's happened so many times in other projects that I've seen and been a part of. I remember being in Ripple in the early stages of them when they were compiling partnerships like you wouldn't believe. They'll come out with 1 week, they'll have MoneyGram, Western Union, Santander, Bank of America, and everybody thinks it's going to be a moon event, and it doesn't, because those are just parts of the greater whole. There's parts of it, and when it comes out and that doesn't send the price to astronomical levels, people get antsy and they sell off, and they just don't have an understanding what the project's supposed to be doing with those announcements. Those announcements are clues to what is coming, not to where it is at that time. And unfortunately, we just have people who don't understand that, and you get the big sell-offs, and the chart says it there. But if you look at the price action, what do you see? One big giant slope. So even with all that capitulation on sell-offs, Shido's price remains strong, even with all the lack of attention to detail by individuals who don't understand what's going on with the project, and that's fine. You're going to have that, but I just think going forward, any utility announcement should be put in perspective that it's a part of the greater whole and not the end game. And if people were to understand that, they would hold on for dear life.
Right. No, I agree. And if we're talking about chart action, I will say the Ethereum side has taken a hit. It's not something that we can deny or not address. And I will say right now, I do not view this as, oh my God, I'm freaking out. If you look at my composure, I'm solely on the Ethereum chain. Do I look in any way, form, or fashion like I am paranoid or freaking the fuck out? Right. The answer here is no. And I'm sorry to use the brash language, but sometimes you guys need to chill the hell out. So let's talk about this, right? So last AMA, we had a guy in our chat. We had an individual just not fudding, but overly concerned where there needed to not be any concern. Instead of viewing this as an opportunity to fill your position and to get more shadow, he was viewing this like the world was falling around. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's going to gain a zero. Oh my God. And I told him flat out, I called him out in chat very politely. And I said, hey, look, man, you're not gaining a zero tonight. It's not happening. And we didn't until today. Today, we had some massive sell-offs on the east side. We'll take a look at those. We'll scroll down here real quick. Let me just see if I can timestamp back. It was earlier today. It's a lot to go through. Right here. We had wallet number A0D1. So this gentleman, or individual, I should say, started right here at about 9:28 in the morning my time, Mountain Standard Time. Okay, let's just take a look and see. $86,938.36 of Ethereum. This individual today exited out of Shido and exited with $86,000. Now, why I tell you this is everybody in this chat today was freaking out. Everyone was freaking out. Oh my God. Oh my God. Stop. Here's the thing. Cool. He's got 14 million Alcazar, and he's holding it. Wonderful. He doesn't have any other investments. He didn't turn around and go buy meme coins that are saying they're going to do insane things to pump to new heights. He's just holding his ether. For whatever reason, maybe he's waiting for an opportunity to buy into something. Or maybe he's taking profits. The point here is he did exit his shadow position. Now, when we count what he exited, 282 million on the first sell. And I tell you this because I want you guys to calm the hell down. 282 million. So let's just get this total here, all right? So let's go down here. Okay, 200.
And as you're doing that, I want to put this in perspective.
Go ahead. I'm gonna mute myself.
The reason why the Ethereum side has such major swings, and keep in mind, over the last 2 weeks, BNB actually has lost the most cumulatively. So people need to understand that. But the reason why ETH has that appearance because you have lower holders over there. So when you have movements like that, you have your price swings that it can go either way. You guys can soar up very quickly, but you can also go down very quickly. But it's all based on that one side, and then you have to look at it compositively. The Shido price is still above. Technically you didn't gain a zero because if you took this into a composite situation, you haven't really gained a zero. It's just when you look at it from from other side to the other. I always take both sides into consideration. I follow both sides strictly. And if you look closely at ETH and BNB, to everybody out there that's watching, understand that the patterns, and even Bjorn says it's on every AMA, the patterns on both sides mimic. And that is true. I backed him up. I called his bluff on that many a time. Like, he's not lying. The patterns mimic. I follow both of them every single day, and they never deviate from each other. It's just that the holder count is different, so the swings are more ginormous.
Right. So, no, you hit exactly what I was about to hit, but that's okay. If you look, that wallet sold 1 billion Shadow. 19,780,000 Shadow was sold out today. Here's the point. You had a massive whale with 1 billion Shadow walk away from his position, and your chart composite is sitting at 301071. Now, your liquidity, you got 489,000 on BNB, and you have 460,000 on Ethereum. You have almost $1 million in liquidity, all grassroots, by the way. Nothing's been artificially injected. Nothing's been artificially pumped. And your composite price is holding 301071. So, the point of this conversation is when you guys are in the Telegram chat, and us moderators and admins are telling you to relax and calm down, your investments are fine, or you're in our personal DMs saying, oh my God, the world is falling around me. Step back, take a breath, and understand what you hold. This is why it is so important that you go to every AMA, whether I'm hosting that AMA, or Bjorn is hosting that AMA, or Caesar's Calls, or Venom, or any other influencer on Twitter is hosting that AMA. If it is a Shido AMA, you need to be in it. You need to take some time. If you can't, we all get it. I work 9 to 5, and then I do this. If I'm at work, I take time to go back into the pinned messages, and I listen, and I educate myself on the AMA. That is why it is so crucial that all of you do the exact same thing. Because if you don't, you're going to look at something like this, and you're going to freak out and make a mistake. Oh my God, a whale exited. I got to sell it. No, you don't. No, you don't. That is when you buy. That's when you buy. It's all up here. It's all up here. It's psychology at its finest. People look at this right now. It is. It is. It's all fear. It's all marginal fear, but it's psychology. It comes to the bottom line that it's psychology. People look at this chart. I guarantee you right now, the reason why this chart hasn't moved is because you're fearful. You think it's going to drop further. Do you realize right now that $1,600 will buy you 16 million Shido? Let me shake some fear out of you, okay? Big calculator. We're gonna shake some fear. We're gonna shake some fear out of people. I'm sorry, Shido. 16 million Shido. I said Alcazar. I'm sorry. So your $1,600 investment, right? Let's just go right here. We'll call it. Let's be specific. Hold on.
16 cents is 160 grand, man. Just that right there. 16 million tokens at 16 cents is 160 grand.
Right. I wanted to go a little lower and then go up. So I'm going to go fractional and then I'm going to take you up. I want people to see this because you're missing an opportunity. And I know we're rehashing, we're saying the same thing that we say every week, but you guys got to start at some point. You've got to start listening, right?
with the education
So
thing that you were talking about, I want to go a step further for supplementing. I think a lot of people, I don't think you have to depend. Go to the AMAs, yeah, but AMAs come so quick, and the things that happen there happen so fast. What you have to do is go to the website. What you have to do is go to the white paper and sit down. Whether you're
I
sitting over your
agree.
cup of job, hanging out with you, hanging out. You're sitting back watching the game or whatever. Have it on the sideline, skim over it, and take your time and get the fundamental understanding of what's going on. Because the AMAs are great for getting information for what we're going, but I don't think it's good for understanding and educating yourself fully on why it matters. You know what I'm saying? That's going to come from your own personal learning process in your own time. And everybody learns at a different pace. But you have to immerse yourself to it. Get on the website. Get in that white paper. If you don't know what words mean, get on Google. Punch in what that word means and learn what the concept that's trying to describe is. Then you'll understand why Shido is doing what it's doing, why it's necessary. And then when you go to those AMAs, it's going to make so much more sense to you, and you'll have no fear. Because once you start hearing things about cross chain swaps, oh, I know what that is. That's big news. Instead, you hear about cross chain swaps. Oh, that sounds big, but you really don't understand kind of impact it's going to have because you don't really understand what cross chain swaps are. The people that got a lot of people out there are like that. They hear these things and they go to every AMA, and I guarantee you, people that go to AMAs that they're still selling or selling off portion because they don't understand what those words mean. So they have to go get. I'm very adamant on people just 15 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day in your own time when you just steal some time for yourself, and it's going to be worth it. And then the beauty of this thing, once you learn, you've got it forever. Now you have situational awareness. You don't have to always keep going back and trying to research everything. You can just go there and say, okay, I know what that is. Boom, boom, boom. You're good to go. So you're able to make good calls in real time, and now you're free from all the crazy stuff that we're talking about here.
Right. No, I agree. I'm still going to stand by the point that I think you should go to every AMA. But I do agree that, yeah, if you're not reading the white paper, if you're not
I
going to the website,
I believe in going to the AMA with prior knowledge of what the project is going to be doing. That way, you understand what the announcements mean. I think a lot of people don't take that into consideration. Like you got a lot of people that show up to every AMA, but they still don't really get it because they don't take the time to fundamentally understand why Shido is going to be the thing it's going to be. And it's a very big difference between hearing an announcement and knowing what the announcement means. You know what I'm saying? So I think go to every AMA, hell yeah, but supplement that with your own learning process in the meantime. So you have to have the weight of what the knowledge that you're getting means.
right.
I
That all
believe in
makes sense.
it's all connected, brother. It's all connected.
So, real quick, 16 million showed it, right? So, $1,683 right now. That's after taxes, roughly, or the tax you get from Shadow. Let's just say you end up somewhere around $1,600. Okay, that's your profit at this point. Okay, cool, great. What do I do with it? What am I going to get out of it? The market's crashing, the project's crashing. No, it's not. Let's just evaluate. We drop 1-0 and you go to what? 1-2. Why don't you look at your $1,600? That's now $19,000. Okay, all I did is what this is going to do. It's going to this third zero. Once the blockchain is out, the wallet cross-chain integration is all integrated. The swaps are functioning fully. The DEX, the Perpetual, all of that is firing on full cylinders. That zero is going away.
And keep
So
in
if you
mind,
were
people,
smart,
50 million. That's only 50 million market cap that we're talking about at that price. That's 50 million market cap. That's not even a pebble in a bucket.
no, it's not a pebble in the bucket at all. So, cool. $1,600, right? You bought it at this point. That drops to 2 zeros and a 1-2. That's $19,200. You cannot sit here and tell me that you would not be happy about that. There's some people out there, as Arnold will say it all the time, $600 is a king's ransom. You know what? That can be to some people. Now, that $600 could be worth $9,000 to $10,000 when it drops to 1-0 and goes to a 1-2. That can pay a bunch of bills for you. your position in Shadow and what you're trying to accomplish is going to be completely different than the person next to you and the investor next to them. My intentions with Shadow is to quit my 9 to 5 and to never have to go to work again and be comfortable the rest of my life. That's Arno's intention. That's a lot of people in this project, but not everybody got in the time that we did. Not everybody holds it back like that, and that's okay.
Well, that's one.
What's important is that when opportunities like this present themselves, you take advantage of them. If you're on the BNB chain, you realize your $332 buys you 2.57 million. You're not getting this opportunity on BNB that you are getting right now on Ethereum. Yes, you're gonna have a gas fee. Yes, that can be right now. It's 20 or 30 bucks. I don't even want to hear you in chat complain about gas fees because you weren't investing in the days when you were paying $500 for a gas fee. I don't even want to hear $30 gas fee is expensive. Like, get out of here. Don't even.
I have to interject because I want to give full context to this. That's true, but for the purposes of being able to handle things like staking along the way and then being a validator for people as we make our journey and we going forward, that should be taken consideration because those have to be paid out to begin those processes. Those take fees that we might not have that money that we're looking for at that time. For instance, if you're staking right now, anything that you would want to do would require a gas fee. So if you are an avid staker, you might want to go ahead and make plays on the BNB side, knowing that you're going to be in staking and you want to go ahead and take advantage of maybe adding to your position in your staking pool or compounding or taking it out and putting it back in or doing whatever you want to do. So you want to make sure that you take that in consideration so you can have liquid options. Because if you're on the ETH side, I'm sorry to tell you, there's just no telling whether or not you're going to have a $4 ETH fee or a $200 ETH fee. Yes, we've had them in the past. You eat the cost because you want to be the boss, but for those of us who are living on a budget and who want to take advantage of options within Shadow's ecosystem, in my opinion, BNB is the better play because you don't have to deal with the fees. But having said that, if you want to get a position and you just want to get a position and get your ass on East side, eat the fee, and get out there and educate yourself on why the project's going to be huge. Okay, because at the end of the day, it's not going to matter which side you're on in terms of getting your price margins up. As far as like in the interim and staking and everything like that, yeah, it matters. But getting a position, get in for the best price on what either side. All roads lead to Shy 20, and that 1-to-1 merger, where this price is going to go insane in that ecosystem with all those things taking place, with validating, with the staking options, with the atomic swaps that will be happening, not only just in the wallet, but also on chain in our ecosystem with new tokens getting launched and having peggings. To shot, oh my God, I can talk all night, brother. Let me stop. I can talk all night about this.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Where I'm trying to get to, I respect what you're saying about that. I'm simply saying, if you are somebody who bought on the Ethereum chain and you were gonna complain about a $30 gas fee, I don't want to hear the conversation because you had options to buy on BNB. I'm getting to the point that I've been through that. I understand the fees suck because I was the guy buying Shiba Inu and paying $560 gas fees. I was that person. I did that because I wasn't educated enough to know that I had a BNB option, but Shiba wasn't on BNB. Let's be clear. But I wasn't educated enough to know that there was another chain option. I was new. But the point still stands. If you're a glutton for punishment and you're on the Ethereum blockchain, you understand that fees are part of the game. Fees are part of the business. That is never going to change. So what I would say, though, however, as Arno has stated, this is a fire sale right now. If you are somebody that is on the BNB chain, that has a decent bag, but you say, damn it, I want more Shido, get your ass to the Ethereum blockchain. Do it at 2 or 3 in the morning when gas fees are super cheap. There's no excuse at that point. It's like a $7 fee, and buy a bag and secure a position. I got some on BNB, but a majority of my holdings are on Ethereum. That's okay. I am willing to own that. I am willing to pay that fee. I will pay the piper to play the game. That's just how I am. My point here, still withstanding, there's an opportunity for you to make an educated opportunity and an educated decision on adding more to your bag while it's still on discount. Because if you think this right here is going to stay, you're delusional. I mean,
Yep.
let's be real. If you think Shido is going to stay at 3 zeros and a 1, man, I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, brother, could you go back to the chart I had on Shido so I can tell people about the bounce that's coming?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that goddamn bounce. That deviation from where we were supposed to be, like, and again, I've told the devs about this, but if they had just handled the announcement of the decks a different way, we would be at like 003 right now and some change. But that's neither here nor there. We're here now, so they know. They know. So it's all a learning process, and then this is part of being a startup. I wanted you to go to the weekly, if you could, even though that looks beautiful. There you go. Now that's our weekly chart. Now you can see at that first green candle about 2 weeks ago, or is it 3? Well, it's 3 weeks ago now. We're on the beginning of the third week. That lead up, as we were going, we were pushing like crazy towards the 3 level. We actually hit an all-time high. This is like during the day of the launch of the decks, and then it came out, and then the open of the week, you had the buy the rumor, sell the news moment, and that's where we're at. But if you look closely, look at what's going on with our resistance. Look at what's going on with our support, and then look at our RSI at the bottom. If you can zoom down at the bottom in the purple.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I was like, hold on. There you go.
There you go. Look at that. We're trending towards sustainable. We're basically in between. We're not overbought. We're not oversold. This is post-dated, mind you. This is a post-dated chart from a day or two ago. I believe right now we are in oversold territories, meaning that the price that we've just come down from, the recovery on that is going to. It's actually going to be an exponent. It's like similar to what Bitcoin's going through. This is what this is like when these DCA events where people have positions and you lose money and you have people coming in with new money. It takes the price that you were recently pushing for and you exponentially push past that with the money that's already been put in. So we're getting set up for a jump in a couple of weeks. Not financial advice, but I see it's in maybe 2 to 3 weeks. We should be about the 3 levels. So if I was telling you these prices won't last, that ain't no damn smoke. My personal opinion, we shouldn't even be here now. This is a freaking fluke. This is if Shido had just handled the cost of the decks somewhat differently, you wouldn't even be here now. You wouldn't even be here now, man. I'm just saying this. Take the opportunity. Not financial advice, but Jesus Christ, this is like one of the moments like, hey man, I might need to get that flashy thing for my car. I want a new car stereo. Nah, bruh. Nah. Not this month. Nah.
Not this month.
Nah, bruh. Nah.
Well, we need to talk about a couple things on Twitter for Shido, and a couple things I want to bring to everyone's attention here. So first things first, I'm going to zoom in. I want everyone to notice one thing right here. Shido has officially been verified on Twitter. Now, not everyone understands the significance of the blue check mark, but so let me dive into the blue check mark. So the blue check mark is something that only accredited accounts in Twitter can attain. Now, Elon Musk did something briefly where he was letting people pay $20 a month to obtain a blue check mark. That went away real quick because it was causing problems. Because you got to consider, right? There's people on Twitter that have spent 12. Yeah, there's people on Twitter that have spent 4, 5, and 7 years trying to attain that blue check mark next to their name, and then some asshat can come in and pay $20 a month and get it. Oh no, cupcake, that is not gonna fly.
The whole purpose.
So it did. So that's gone. But I want you to understand the fact that the validation part of it is back to how you attain that check mark. Shido just got its blue check mark. Now, what I want you to know, this is in the process of changing to a yellow, goldish yellow check mark. Now, that's super rare, and I'm going to show you why. Let's go pull up Binance. I think this is the right. Ooh, yep, perfect. What do you notice on
Golden
Binance? The reason why they have a gold checkmark is they are a verified and reputable business. Meaning, Shido Global is getting away from this whole meme coin mentality, world of DeFi mentality, right? Because you gotta remember, we started as Shido Inu, we rebranded to Shido Finance, and then we finalized as Shido Global. That progression has been now to the point where we are getting yellow checkmark certified because Shido Global is a fully flushed LLC. It is a business entity that hires and has employees, etc. We check all the marks to attain the coveted yellow checkmark.
It means you've been vetted, people. You're legit.
It means you're being vetted.
You're real. You ain't no lemonade stand. That's what they're saying. You ain't no lemonade stand selling 25-cent shots.
That's exactly what this says. Every major corporation on Twitter has this checkmark. Binance, Coinbase, Crypto.com, KuCoin, Kraken, Robinhood. They're all going to come up with this yellow checkmark. We are now going to be among that coveted list of projects and entities on Twitter that are business certified. That is huge.
Business elite.
That is huge from the standpoint of credibility and respectability. Now, it also goes to what Arno has told you for multiple months. We are not just going to be the top, a top 100 project. We are going to the top 3 as a cornerstone project. The goal here is to be right below Ethereum. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Shido Global. That's the goal. Bjorn has said it over and over and over again. That's the goal. Now, I don't know about you, but I haven't seen this man say something that he has not delivered on yet. I have not seen Bjorn come out and say, hey, I'm going to do this, and not do it. I've seen nothing but execution. And then once that utility or that point of interest is executed, we've gone back and we've revisited, revised, refined it, and fine-tuned it. What are your thoughts on that, Arna?
I haven't seen Bjorn, period, because he's working his ass off. I've been trying to get him in DMs, answer a few questions. So, I listen. And the thing is, every passing day, my questions get answered by the announcement. So, like, it's almost as if he's answering like through what they call that as a writer, a pseudonym name or shadow writer. Like, okay, here's your answer. Here's your answer. Here's your answer. Because we just, right. For instance, I had a question about the staging of Shadow Chain when we're going to stage. There's your answer. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Tune into the AMA, Arno. There's your answer.
Check, shut the fuck up. I'm working. Okay.
Okay.
Fuck up.
So what you guys can see on my screen right now, thank you, Shadow Queen, for digging this up for me. Media details, right? This is everything right here. Company name, Shido Finance Ltd. Branded as Shido Global. Person's name, Bjorn Bonnevere. Address, Stockholm, Sweden. Email, info@shido.io. Website, shido.io. You can pull all this up. You can pull up the LTD, which is a European version of an LLC. Limited liability company is what it stands for in the U.S. You can pull all this up right here. This is a certified business. And for anybody now, go ahead.
And for anybody out there that's like trying to, get one of your family members or friends on Shido, show them this.
Right.
Legitimate. Show them this. Like, dude, sometimes it really is just that simple of just showing people, hey, They got the blue check mark. It's getting ready to be yellow, bro. What do you think? I think I'll buy it. and then they'll just go ahead and just ape in. They'll just ape in just off of that. So the check mark may not look much. Listen, I'm not a Twitter guy by any stretch of the imagination, but once it was explained to me what that meant, great, because I understand that Twitter is a huge place for people to see stuff, and if you get your name out there with any kind of legitimacy, it means something. I mean, for Christ's sake, if the president uses it, it's got to matter.
I'm going to show another one here. This one here is for Road Warrior. And guys, I'm not ignoring comments. I promise. We'll get to comments. I told you tonight we had a lot to talk about. And I love this conversation because me and Arno, we have different views on certain things, but I love the fact that we can come onto this AMA and we can come to the same end result. Bitcoin's pumping, strap your shit in, the bull run is coming, and it's about to get crazy. So it's cool to see. We have two different perspectives, but at the end of it, we tie it into the same thing. I just want to throw that out there. I appreciate the conversation because it's cool to see how we both come to that one point, which that's all that matters at the end of the day is Bitcoin is pumping. It's
clutching your hand.
It's pumping. I am clutching my hand, man, because this shit is pumping. Let's go. So, real quick here. Road Warrior has a comment. What is the projected ROI? So return on investment. Road Warrior, I got a picture for you. So I have said time and time again. I look at it. I got to get a drink. Give me a second here.
All right.
Okay, good. I came prepared. I came prepared with my beer and I came prepared with my water. I knew I was in for a long night. So my point here. I have said over and over again, $2.54. Arno's told me you're crazy. We're going higher. You got two different price evaluations. What I can tell you is comfortably.
I said yes, but it could do higher. I say even if it went to just 2 something, that's more reason for people that's actually saying get your positions now because even at that price, you're good to go. My thing is this, like, you talking about 5-10 years down the line, shoot.
Bro, 10 years down the line, $15, $20 price point.
Hell yeah, $30. I mean, come on.
I don't even think 5 or 10 years down the line, to be honest with you. I think maybe 3 or 4 years.
That's where we're different. See, you're about short price and short term. I'm more about higher price, long.
Right. No, I'm saying here though that I think in the shorter term we're going to get closer to that higher price because of what Shido is doing. Shido is different. Mm-hmm. If this was a normal project, a normal utility project, I would say yes, probably a 5 to 10 year vision to get there. But Shido is not that project.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
I'm telling you there's a chance. But what I'm telling Road Warrior, who's asking about ROI, is Road Warrior, this one's for you. Okay, so this picture on my screen right now that I'm going to zoom in on.
Oh boy, here we go. We got this.
If Shido reaches a top 50 in market cap, so top 50 coins, we've already told you, Bjorn has told you he's going top 5. He's not interested in the 45 below him. So I've already told you, I vision it as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Shido. I know that might be hard for some of you to envision, but if you go read the damn white paper, you listen to the AMAs, you read the website, and you look at the utilities, you can easily see why. So,
I know 50, I did.
I know you do. Top 50, ladies and gentlemen, that's 0.03127. That's about 31 cents.
Let's put this in perspective. Keep in mind, that's based on the active supply that we have now. That ain't going to be true. Exactly. That ain't gonna. Exactly. That number you're seeing there is going to be reached at a far lower market cap because we'll have far fewer tokens out there in the market. By definition of this project, it's going to have to be because when all these validator nodes get going, with all those projects having to use this token for proof of stake to confirm transactions, it ain't going to be enough to go around. You're looking about 40-something billion Shido has 200 billion tokens minted that were created. Yeah, but when it's all said and done, you're probably going to have in circulating supply at large probably a couple 100 million at large, maybe. That's if they don't get burnt off before we get to that point. There's a good chance that during the migration that people will just buy up the tokens, and not just people, but also developers trying to not developers getting the token for validation transactions on Shadow Chain, and they'll just go ahead and just lock those daddies down indefinitely because they know this is their ticket to wealth. The fees
Right.
that are going to come in on those validator nodes are going to be insane to the first adopters, and they know that. I'm telling you right now, that price right there at 50 at that number, you'll never see that. That price will get reached so far quicker at such a lower market cap that we won't even break it. By the time we get in the top 50, that number's going to be far higher.
I agree 100%. I'm just saying here for the sake of where we are today, if we look at this top 50, that's 23 cents.
Right.
So let's take that. Let's take that 23-cent ratio.
That's
Let's
2 cents.
go.
That's 0.2. That's 0.2.
Oh, 0.2. I'm sorry. 0.2 cents. I
Give me
apologize. You're right.
0.2. It's 2.3.
Yeah.
It's 2 cents. That's my point. Like that's such a low price to be that high in top 50.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I looked at that wrong. You're right.
That is so freaking low. Like you have to have the entire pie at large, and then have like I think what that would be somewhere around I believe close to about somewhere around maybe 8 billion market cap, somewhere around that place.
Before burns, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's take the 2 cents here, and so 0.023. Just plug it into our equation of the guy who bought 16 million for $1,600. So, sir, congratulations. At that point, you were sitting on $368,000. You turned $1,600. You took a chance. You took a gamble. You took an educated gamble, and you made a wise investment. And you turned $1,600 into $368,000. Now, if you had, let's say you got 40 million Shido. Let's go medium range. That's a fair number based on our holders across both chains. Congratulations, you're almost a millionaire. $920,000 at 2 cents. Now, I mean, I'm no financial expert here, but we're only talking about an 8.5 to 7.8 to 8.5 billion dollar market cap, somewhere in that ballpark, as it stands right now with no burns. You guys realize Saitama reached a $7.8 billion market cap on nothing but pure bullshit and hype in the last bull run? Right? You guys realize that, right? No functional utility, no nothing, just a bunch of clowns on YouTube howling to the moon, telling you that you were going to be a millionaire. Their first major, Saitama, right? No, we ain't going there, but hey, you can finally say
Lord.
I howled on. You can finally say I howled. God damn it.
Good to say Thomas.
You want me to pull the Saitama chart? I'll pull the Saitama chart.
I want to put mine up.
All right, hold on. Before,
pizza.
did you got one for me or something?
I could go and bring it up if you want me to. I can go dig it up and show you the pattern.
Go dig it up. Go dig it up.
If I can,
So
if I get
we're
this,
gonna use it. We're gonna use it
you know
for
what?
conversation's sake. While he's digging for a chart, I want you to understand. Saitama, with people like He Not Crypto going on YouTube. Yeah, I'm going to call this guy out because this was just ridiculous. Going on YouTube every morning at 7 a.m. I get a notification on my phone. He knocks live, and he's howling in the phone, talking about the billions. We're going to a $50 billion market cap. There's another project out there doing something similar, but they're not howling at you. But the point here is Saitama, as bad as this project ended up being at the end, made it to a $7.8 billion market cap, and I'm being real when I'm saying this. $7.8 billion. I just showed you 2 cents. at right around an 8 billion. So if Saitama can do that, and Saitama had a ridiculous supply, like they had way more tokens than Shido does. So let's be clear with that. Before their migration, they were stupid. I mean, they were in the trillions of tokens. And they went to a $7.8 billion market cap.
I do so believe, like 10 times the amount. I do so believe.
Yeah, it was stupid. So do not think that in this upcoming bull run, Shido is not going to melt faces, because we have a I got it right here. Let me pull this baby out. Where are you hiding? There you are. We have the best MasterCard period in the crypto space. We have one of the cleanest decentralized exchanges I've ever seen. I love it, and I have used it, and it works flawlessly. I had no issues. I love that I can do all the charting, I can do all the trading I want, not to mention the fact that if I ever feel froggy and brave enough, we have a perpetual platform that's basically Las Vegas with 200x liquidity options for longs and shorts. Guys, Saitama had none of this.
Hold on. Another one up now. I just sent you I sent you the before. I'm about to send you the after.
Okay, I love it. Hang on, while I'm still on my spill here, so give me a moment. But I want you to understand the crux of this. Saitama was promising you a wallet with a swap. That was it. Just a swap built in the wallet where you could trade. Shido has delivered to you a wallet with an already built-in swap, soon to go cross-chain trading. The DEX is going to be integrated. The Perpetual is going to be integrated. The staking is going to be integrated. The MasterCard with a legit MasterCard from Barclays Bank in your own checking account is going to be integrated. All of this technology is integrated in this little wallet right here. And you're telling me that the Saitama wallet, which had nothing but a swap and didn't even work, mind you.
Same swap, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even have. I don't even think they even accommodated BNB. It was just all ETH.
Yeah, it was all ETH projects. So it was just a one-chain swap, and it went to a $7.8 billion market cap. You are going to tell me that with what Shido is bringing to the table, wallet, MasterCard, DEX, most amazing DEX I've ever freaking seen in DeFi, and this Perpetual, that we are not going to go at the bare minimal to a $7.8 billion market cap. I am telling you right now, $50 billion market cap, it's got Shido's name on it.
Yeah, because as I'm looking at these charts here, as I've said, Shido's to me is capturing the four major cornerstones of what makes crypto go up in value. Number one is on-off ramps. You got to get the money in there expediently and frictionlessly. You want to see how that plays out? Look at crypto.com and their ecosystem, look how they're doing. I don't say any more about that. Number two is going to have to be, to me, I feel like you have to have cross-chain swaps going forward. Going forward, the space demands it. That's the next crux. We have to be able to get cryptos going interoperable. You cannot just be single chain anymore. Number three, to me, is going to be staking and liquidity, because that's what allows DeFi to be possible. You have to have people up there to be able to stake tokens on a myriad of selections in order to provide liquidity so these cross-chain swaps can be possible. And then number four, the thing that people are not talking about that I think is going to be a big major player in the years to come in crypto, shorting and longing crypto, and that would be perpetual lending. That, to me, is the next great frontier for crypto, because that's what you already have in stocks. And we have that. I mean, it's the same thing. You long a stock and you short a stock. It's the same thing as longing and shorting a crypto. The difference is the time that the contract plays out now can be done decentralized, and you can make it play out within moment to moment, or you can do it weekly or daily. You can't do that in stocks. Stocks are fixed. They usually do theirs by swing trades, whereas like a weekly play out on a contract. Crypto, you can do it moment to moment on perpetual, because there's the name, perpetual lending. That's what that means, people. You're perpetually lending in real time on shorting and longing a crypto at various time playouts. That, to me, is the next real major player in crypto that needs to be fleshed out. Shido is handling that at a high level. Okay.
I just want to shout out this comment here before you tear into the Saitama chart. Shido Sheet 20. The only secret behind crypto wealth is holding, 100%. But it is holding the right projects. It's
Yeah.
not it's not holding projects that are promising you the moon. And you got to call the top, man. Because there's nothing. Let's think about this, right? Let's go back. I'm not going to name the project. There is a project out there right now that's telling you that they're about to do insane things. And if you're in that project, all I got to say is you are not getting any sleep because you literally are going to be by your phone watching that shit moon, watching it going, is this the top? Oh, is this the top?
Valhalla, I have explained this many times. When people and calling the top really isn't a bad thing because it's about being sophisticated to do it. You can do it. There's money to be made, but the
Can
majority
the average investor do
to
it?
understand they don't understand that calling a top has more to do about putting orders in lieu of what's going to happen in the future. You got to get your playouts on centralized exchanges. You got to take your money out of DeFi and go to centralized exchanges, put those limit orders in, and then hope that they play out and get your orders filled before everybody sells off. The problem that people do in these projects, they hold, and hold. They wait for the price to come and they try to sell it off manually in real time. You ain't gonna make no money that way, kid. You got to get that stuff in limit orders. That's the only way you can win. And then you have to be sophisticated enough to be able to foresee what price margin is going to be at to hit that price. And most people don't have that because you spend all your time doing the rah stuff instead of really crunching your numbers. So calling the top is not necessarily an evil thing. It's just having the know-how to be able to do it, and most people don't. And it's a nerve-wracking thing if you're trying to do that stuff manually. Because even if you do call it, let's say you do get there, you still have to get your calls out on a depreciating price. Because maybe it's okay. Say you just made about 100 grand. Okay, you got 100 grand in that token that's worth right now. Okay, I want to sell it off at one price, but so is John, so is Paulie, so is Paula, so is Jerica. They're all selling at the same time. That price is going down lump by lump by lump. So what you do, you sell maybe 10%. You get that cleared. Okay, cool. But you got 90% left to get filled. No one's taking that price. I better move down. Now you're losing money all the way down as the price plummets. And I'm about to show you what happened with Saitama in a moment here. I'll give you a chart. You're losing money every step of the way. The only way to do it, you have to be sophisticated enough to put limit orders in lieu of where the price is going to be in the future. And I'm sorry to tell you, this isn't me trying to be, big and bad, but most people just ain't sophisticated to do that. You have to really know your shit to really put those limit orders in. And then you have to put it at multiple levels to make sure you can get your orders filled as the price is going up and then down. So it's an art.
Well, what I will say to that too, thank God for Shadow. Thank God for Shadow Global, right? Because you're in a project where now you don't got to worry about calling the top. You can go to bed Thursday night at 10 a.m. And if we go to a $70 billion market cap, yeah, there's going to be some sell pressure. But you know what? You're burning the same time, which means that dude, just like tonight, that dude that exited with 1 billion tokens, right? We bought that shit right back up. You don't got to be worried about putting limit orders and freaking the hell out with Shido, because Shido is self-sustaining. It is a totally different animal than 90% of crypto, and that is a beautiful thing.
I got one more chart coming to you. That's more definitive than the one I just sent you there. Hit the wrong button.
Well, let's. Okay, so you don't want me to show the one I got up here? You got a better one?
Oh yeah, it's kind of getting there.
Okay, all right, hang on.
There's even more red. Hold on. But yeah, 100%. Like you want to be a part of projects that sustain themselves. You don't want to be, I mean, even if you do have the sophistication, why would you want to be in a project that is going to only net you X amount when you can be in something that's going to basically be like I said, the electric company, a water company. Like BTC is like an electric company. ETH is like a water company. These are cryptos whose price margins that were seen 6 years ago will never be seen again. You'll never see a $6 Ethereum again. And if you do, then there was probably an EMP that hit the earth and everything is recalibrating for a hot second. Something like some kind of interstellar event happened. You know, some sci-fi stuff happened. But generally speaking, you ain't gonna see that type of price again.
You're
You don't
right.
want you don't want to be a part of. You don't want to be a part of something. Okay, it went to astronomical heights, but will it get back there again while it's holding a 12 billion market cap like a Shiba Inu's doing?
Right.
Waiting for the day where Shiba goes to 200 billion market cap. Hopefully,
Yeah,
Four-
you don't
four-
want to be that person.
400 billion. You know, you're sitting there with like 4,000 Shiba tokens, waiting for the day it's going to turn to this. I can't even say it. It's ridiculous. Oh man, making my own self laugh with this nonsense.
Yeah, you don't want to be that person, man. Like, and that's again that's the beauty of Shaya. Excuse me, is you don't have to worry about this. This is not the kind of situation that you're gonna have to. Oh my God, people are gonna sell. No, it's self-sustaining. You're good. Like life's golden. Go drink a mojito, chill on the beach. You need $50, take it out your account. Your shadow balance is still going to be there. That is the beautiful part.
Yeah, go homeschool your kids or something, man. You ain't got to worry about crazy stuff. You know, you ain't got to sit around. Oh man, 12 o'clock at night.
Right.
Will they or won't they? Romance type situation. You know, are they gonna get together? Are they not? Are they dating? Are they breaking up? That's what it's like. You just sit there watching the damn soap opera.
Yep. No, 100%, man, 100%. Well, while you're digging for the Saitama chart, I got something to show everybody. We're gonna break this down.
So bad. I buried it so bad. I buried it.
Yeah, I got a couple more indicators on Bitcoin I want to bring to everyone's attention. I want to see, can anybody tell me what this chart means? Arna, don't answer.
Hold on.
No, you don't answer.
Hold on.
Okay.
Let me bring my screen back up.
Yeah, okay, you're good. So this graph chart, 2015, 2019, and 2020. These are the last three big cycles in Bitcoin. I'm asking the chat. Chat, if you're listening, communicate. That means type on the keyboard here. Can you tell me what this gray bar means right here? Zoom in a little bit. Okay. 2015, 2019, 2022. What does this gray bar right here indicate? I'm going to give chat a minute before I'm going to explain it. All right, so Gigs says it's a bull run chart every 4 years. Gigs, you're hot, but you're not quite there.
100%.
Shido Queen says it's a bull market. You're not quite hitting the spot. You're close. You're both super close.
Yeah, I'll just let you use the one I sent. I can't find it. I buried it somewhere out in the boondocks.
All right, I'm going to explain this, and then we will get to yours. So, what I want you guys, we're going to start over here. We're going to have a little history lesson. So 2015, these gray bars indicate, right here, these indicate a time where there's not a buying opportunity in Bitcoin. What that means, this was during the bull run. Okay? You hit these green bars. These were buy signal indicators. This right here, it printed 4 green bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. This was right when Bitcoin was hitting its low in 2015. Okay? Then what happened is Bitcoin printed another gray bar. That gray bar was your indicator telling you that the time to buy was over. The time to sit back on the run had begun. And what you see is exactly what I said we may potentially see in this cycle. It went down to retest its market low, consolidated, and then the run was on. So we enter 2019. This right here. Go ahead, you're fine. This right here was your
Gigawatts. Jerica, that's a black woman's name. Respect it. That's a black woman's name. Stop it.
all good. Play nice before Arno gets her home address.
Yeah.
So, what you see here, right? We came down. We tested the bottom, which was right there in 2015. Then you spiked. You had one more retest, and then the run was on. This right here, from this indicator, clear up here to this top, was your bull run in 2019. Then you had your bear cycle. It printed 1, 2, 3, 4 indicators that it was time to buy Bitcoin. And then that indicator ceased. You did the same thing. You went back into a bear cycle. You bottomed out. You went up. You retested with a new higher bottom. And then the run was on for the next bull run. Now, this was also part of the COVID crash. This is why this one looks a little wonky. The point of this chart is take a look at 2022. 2022 did something that has never been seen in the previous 2 cycles. It didn't print just 4 bars. It printed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It gave you 8 opportunities, which is telling you this has been a longer bear run than the previous 2 cycles. It gave you 8 opportunities. So it flagged you 8 times saying this is a buy indicator for Bitcoin. Well, I want to point something to you. What happened on the 9th bar? Based on what I've just explained here, if you are paying attention, talked about the golden cross. I have talked about the indicators. We have talked about the 250-day moving average. We are above that. It printed a gray bar for the first time in the 16-plus month bear market.
Like the hand clip.
You understand the significance of this chart.
Can I get a hand clip?
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
No, I want to see you clench your hand as you're saying this. What is this telling you? Clench your hand.
What is the significance? There you go. That's for you, Arno. The point, guys. The point here. It's all fun and games, by the way. My hand clenching is not serious. The point here is.
I love it.
I know you do.
Because it illustrates how obvious this is. You know what I'm saying? It's like
it is 100% obvious.
Tell you. That's basically what this is.
This is telling you, I don't know how many more times you need to know, but damn it, you need to listen. I'm not printing another green bar. I am now gray, which is telling you we are in recovery mode and we are ramping for the bear, or not the bear, but the bull run. The bear market is done.
It says to me that price change is going to be exponential. Like the ride up
what it says.
100 is going to be shorter than anybody thinks.
Yeah. What it's telling me is that there's a reason why I played Apollo 13 in the intro video tonight, and I was waiting for somebody to say, well, why did you play Apollo 13? The goddamn rocket is fueled. It's sitting on the tarmac. It's sitting on the launch pad. T-minus 15 seconds. TikTok, bro. Get in, strap in, or get left behind.
Next video, just let me come in and say, hey, crypto's getting ready to move. Do what you got to do. Begin. Man, forget all that Apollo 13 stuff. It's too esoteric for people. Let's just let me.
Don't you hate on my Apollo 13?
No, it's not hating. I'm trying to put things in context for the working man. I'm just like, hey, bro, it's getting ready to go. Buy it. Begin video.
Yes, and that basically is the sum of this. The point here is tonight, guys.
Buy the fuck out.
I want you to understand we're at the point. The bear market, it's done. This is the end. We are going to confirm it on February 28th. You got 27 days. Or no, 20. You got 21 days. Sorry, you got 21 days before it's confirmed, and we're done. Monta says, do more green bars mean the more intense bull run? Let me go back to this chart because that's an excellent question. So we don't know. I'm going to be truthfully honest with you. We don't know because we've never seen this in a cycle before. This is the first time that Bitcoin has given you 8 buy opportunities.
My 2 cents on this, it goes back to everything with the with the moving average has been telling us for the last year in Bitcoin. What this is telling me, it just backs up that point. Like I said, what's a recovery? It's just people DCAing in the entire time, creating that exponential growth event. This right here backs up what I'm talking about. I mean, there it is. There's your DCAing. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, boom.
Here's the thing with Bitcoin. Bitcoin likes to do the exact opposite of what you expect it to do. So Bitcoin, we would have all expected it to follow the previous two cycles, right? 2015, 2018. This bear market resembles 2015 more than it does 2018 when you match the patterns. But it does have comparisons to how bad 2018 was. Now, this is the first time that Bitcoin's given you 8 bicycles. It ain't giving you a 9th. It's not. You're done. This point is telling you either buy right now, or you're going to wake up in the next week to 2 weeks and you're going to see a $32,000 Bitcoin. And then you're going to see a $50,000 Bitcoin. Go for it.
Right. Plus, on top of that, my man, I got to be honest with you. I'm a big believer in Bitcoin. I believe Bitcoin really is the greatest social token of all time. I think it is a social token. And when you got Venezuelan news covering this, remember, Venezuelan currency is so overinflated. When they're talking about Bitcoin, you know it's getting ready to move.
Yep.
Venezuela is covering stuff like they're covering their poverty situation. Okay.
Right.
Bitcoin is in the streets, and they're talking about this every single day. So,
well, let me ask you this: Do you know?
But I know this: when people decide they want to move or do something, they're going to do it. They're going to do it.
Let me ask you real quick: do you know that the Venezuelan government has officially made Bitcoin a secondary form of currency in Venezuela? Are you aware of that?
I did not know that, but it makes all the sense in the world. Is a good, a good counterbalance.
As a hedge to inflation,
right.
In Venezuela, you can now utilize Bitcoin like you would their everyday currency, same way that you would pay with. And I don't even know what the Venezuelan currency is, so I'm not going to try to. I can Google it, but the point here is Bitcoin is replacing it. It's doing exactly what Nakamoto envisioned.
Yeah. The streets are talking about Bitcoin, people. It's getting ready to move.
The whole damn world's talking about Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And mass adoption.
The world. Streets is the world.
100%. So it's one of those things where you have a gray bar. The last thing I'm going to say on this chart is the green bars aren't coming back. Not until we go through another bear cycle are these bars coming back. This is full bore recovery into bull run. We are there. That's it. We're there. So understand the patterns. Educate yourself, as we say on this channel all the time. I've taken weeks and weeks when I'm at work for 8 hours. I'm just pouring through Bitcoin. I'm learning about charting. I'm learning. That's why I'm coming with you with all of this, these charts, understanding what they're doing. I took the time to go educate myself because I wanted to know
what
was happening.
Let me back him up on that. I want you people to understand Valhalla's process. Valhalla is an shining example of what you could be if you put time into yourself. When I first met this man, he was just an average crypto investor, just going through the motions, making his moves. And since that time in talking to him, he's done so much in the last several months. His learning curve has gone up. So I'm proud of the guy. The stuff that he's able to articulate now, he wasn't able to do months ago. He could step in now to any general crypto circle and hold his own. He's an example of what anyone can do. Doesn't matter what your background is. He didn't know any of this stuff months ago. Look at him now. This is what just a daily initiative to take the time and just learn at your own pace. You ain't got to be a super genius and know every nook and cranny. Just know what you need to know for you as an investor so you can see around corners and hold on to your investment. And Valhalla, to me, is a shining light of that. He's exactly what you can aspire to be.
Oh, I appreciate that. The bottom line to me is I just want to know. I want to be able to understand when the market makes that turn, right? Because what I don't want to be is the guy that I was in the last bull run, where I was buying the top of the bull run, thinking I was about to be a millionaire, and then I literally watched. I'm lucky. I called it. I was sitting at work. I'm going to use Shiba as an example, right? So my like $3,200 I put into Shiba, it went all the way up to like 24,000, and I was just like, oh my god. And then the greed mentality kicked in, right? Like, well, it's at 24,000, it can go higher. And so, like, I got my coworker who knows nothing about crypto, and she's like, sell that shit, sell it right now, sell that shit. And I was like, why? Why would I sell it? Like, it's at 24,000, it's gonna go higher. She's like, no, sell that shit. And I didn't listen, right? I was like, it ain't gonna go down. I get home from work, I get a notification on my phone. 24,000 to 18.7. Oh, what just happened? I knew nothing. I knew nothing. I didn't know how to chart. I didn't know TA. All I knew is I watched my investment go from 24 to 18.7, and I was in panic mode, right?
God, I knew you back then.
Absolute panic mode, right? And but even though it was panic mode, I made the right decision, and I sold it, and I got out. If I wouldn't have sold it, it would have went down to about $9,000. That was the end. That was the top of the run before we started the retracement.
Could you show those charts I just sent you on that to back up this?
Yep. Let me pull them up. Let's look at chart number
100%, because I actually say if I'd known Valhalla back then, I would save them a ton of money, because I saved a couple of friends of mine by calling this. This was the run that I charged.
I wish I knew you in the Saitama era.
This was the Saitama run. This. I want you people to pay attention to that lower yellow line. I know it's a little different here because it's a different. Back then I was using a different chart, but the yellow line's the same. That's the moving average support. When it's listen, I'm gonna keep it simple. When it's pointing downward, that is a bad sign. Get the hell out of the dang the trade. Get out, because the chances of that holding that momentum is going to be hard to do, and it's going to tank. Now show the after, if you could, sir.
Absolutely. Give me 1 second. The after is just it. God.
The after. I called this.
My stomach hurts because I was part of this.
And this is the after, people. Look at the after.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. And so
I called Saitama, but keep in mind that took place at 3:30 in the morning. Imagine the people who were sleeping. Imagine that.
Yep.
You wake up to that. Jesus Christ. So yeah, playing the whole hold it and make a million mentality is nice, but you got to be able to plan your moves in the future. You got to be able to crunch your numbers and see what it's doing in real time, and get your butt over to an exchange with enough liquidity. Put those limit orders in and hope they clear, so you don't have to recalibrate.
Yep. Yeah. See, and the rough part about this, right? This one was so hard to call because this top of the green right here, that was Las Vegas. This was 12:02 Las Vegas time when Saitama was supposed to unveil State Mask, not State Mask Pro that's out now, but State Mask. I was here from the ground floor of this shit. State Mask, 3 tier 1s, and a Lily Finance partnership announcement. Those were what was supposed to be on the agenda. We didn't get 3 tier 1s. We didn't get State Mask, and all we got was Brad Lilly's daughter and a jump rope telling us about Lily Finance. That was it. That was the Las Vegas moment. And from that moment, every influencer and every holder was all at the same time asking, what the fuck just happened?
And at that time, bro, that's when I was watching. I was telling my friends, guys, get the hell out of it. Get the hell out. Get the hell out.
Then it got worse. So you had this first candle, right? This candle right here was Las Vegas. You want to know what this candle represented? Willie D.
The Willie D. fiasco. Oh yeah.
So the following morning, the morning after Las Vegas, CoinMarketCap puts a warning on the Saitama chart, and it's in big bold letters. talking about a Willie D scandal in 2014 where he was swindling iPhones and selling them illegally. The only reason why this had prevalence was because Willie D was the spokesperson for Saitama and was technically on the team. So you had a known scammer on the team who did prison time. Yeah, that's questionable. And then we went from this one to this one, where we started questioning Russ and Russ's background, which led to this. Now, this giant candle right here, this was the death nail. This was the launch of SataMask. SataMask had a date, had a time. It was on the App Store. It was good to go, but it didn't work. They've tried to blame it on DDoS attacks. It wasn't DDoS attacks. It wasn't back-end attacks. It was bad coding. It was bad programming from a group of indie developers who were not doing what Shido does through anti-air solutions and certified tech providers. No. They had an office where they were sitting with one man trying to code everything. One man. That's your result.
Yeah. I wanna respond to Stage E Entertainment. Yeah, all this took place at like 2 a.m. I had to basically call them out of their sleep because they had decent positions. I was like, guys, sell it, like dude, like because I didn't listen. I wasn't really following this day to day of some time. I was just basically holding a bag my dang self, just trying to trade it, and I was watching it. I didn't know about the Willie D thing until after the fact, but that was before. When I saw that the chart was being artificially pumped, once you start seeing those type of patterns and it gets above resistance levels that strongly, and you deviate from your moving support, that's a definite sign that it's getting ready to dump. So I didn't even know about I wasn't because I really had no interest. I bought Saitama a little late. I had like a little small bag, but I was still charting it to make a little money for myself. But then I started just seeing this pattern, like, God damn, this thing is getting ridiculously stretched. And everybody's getting extraordinarily, overhyped. And you see the same pattern in other projects. But I could show you the same exact pattern. And you'd be like, is this a coincidence or is this just, a modus operandi for these projects?
Are you talking about the 60 days of blood?
Well, it was 35, but
okay. I thought we were close to 60. Either way, 35 days of bloodshed.
Cumulatively, it's been over 180. If you go back to after migration part, migration, that you go into September, and then you go back into what happened after October. Yeah, it would be over 180 days of red for this particular project. I'll talk about, but I don't want to care. I want to talk about this on the screen because that is money.
Yep, that's exactly what we're about to talk about. We're going to get into this next. So, guys, what you see on the screen, top decentralized finance company feature list. I want you to pay close attention. We're going to walk through each one. I'm going to start at the bottom, and then we're going to work up to the top because, the best is always for last, right? So let's start down here with DYDX. They are currently a $2.4 billion market cap company. They do not offer cross-chain integration. They do not have a liquidity aggregator. They do have a perpetual, but it does not have 200x lending. They do have limit and stop loss orders, which is great, and they do have peer-to-peer. They're at a $2.4 billion market cap. Okay, that's sitting current in a bear market, 2.4 billion. This is recent data. Let's take a look at PancakeSwap. PancakeSwap does not have cross-chain integration yet, but that is probably on the docket. They do have a liquidity aggregator, which we've talked about. They do have a perpetual platform. It is not 200x lending. We are one of the few that does that. They do have limit and stop loss orders, and they do not offer peer-to-peer trading. They are at a $2.9 billion market cap. Then we get up here to Uniswap. Uniswap does not offer cross-chain. That is coming, though. Be mindful of that. They do have a liquidity aggregator. This is where it gets insane. They do not offer a perpetual. They do not offer limit and stop loss. And they do not have peer-to-peer. They are a $6.4 billion market cap, just with the DEX. And they don't offer half of what Shido DEX now offers. Shido DEX will be offering cross-chain. That's getting integrated, I believe, very soon. It does already have the liquidity aggregator in place. You've seen our perpetual. Our stop and loss limit orders is coming next, along with the cross-chain, along with the peer-to-peer trading. We're sitting at a $14 million market cap. Why don't you talk on that before we go down to the next slide, Arno?
Let me interject on this. People, that's an investment opportunity. Okay. I don't even want it let's just keep it simple. You got all this stuff doing less, and they've done that much in their market cap. We're doing more, and we're just sitting here right now chilling before everything's launched.
Yeah.
You don't need Warren Buffett to walk up to your door, knock on it, and say, I think it'd be a good deal to buy, to let you know that it's a good time to buy. All right. I mean,
exactly
that right there, that is elementary stuff.
Well, let's go from elementary and let's graduate to high school. So let's go down one. We're going to talk about the top crypto card. Guys, for the love of God, I'm gonna ball the fist here for a moment to bring the realism home. Top card, literally, we are better than the competition. And I'm about to destroy the competition. The best MasterCard in the crypto space, the best DEX by all standards in the crypto space. All we need to do is get mass adoption. That's it. That's our hurdle. So let's take a look at the top MasterCard.
You just need just basic adoption. Just basic adoption. This price moves ginormously. You just get just 50K users, bro. Holy cow! What that's gonna do for the token price? Holy 50K users.
I got a surprise for everybody, and we're going to get into it after this. We're going to talk about those listings and why they're so impactful. We'll get there momentarily. So, let's talk about the MasterCard. As usual, let's start at the bottom, because, you know, the bottom is always the worst, right? We got Coinbase. Coinbase does not offer you a bank account. They do offer IBAN transfers, so I'll give them credit there. They do not allow you to have multiple cards. One card, that's it. Cashback is only 4%. Your ATM withdrawal daily is only $1,000. And they only cover 100 plus countries. That's it. 100 plus countries. Now let's talk about. Go ahead.
Just to add this too, and they're always changing their rules. They move the goalposts back so much on Coinbase for your limit and what you're able to do. You just don't know what you're going to get from those guys. And they report the heck out of it.
Yes, and let me also add to this too. They don't require you to stake, but your crypto has to be on their centralized exchange. So let's say if I had $900,000 worth of Shiba, I would have to move all $900,000 into the Coinbase exchange to be able to use their card. And every time, I'm immediately getting a tax to them every time. So, and yes, I want to address this. So, Montez, because Shido Queen's killing my thunder. He says, that's my concern, mass adoption. I've seen good projects tank because of lack of adoption. Well, I got a surprise for you, Montez. We're going to talk about it. Everyone's asking for marketing. Well, I'm going to show you the most clever marketing you've ever seen when it comes to the DEX, and we'll talk about it momentarily. I'm not going to show Shido Queen's comment because she's stealing my thunder tonight. So, Binance, right? They don't offer you a bank account. They don't offer IBAN transfers. They don't even offer you multiple cards. They will give you up to 6% if you lock $75,000 in cash back. They'll give you 8% cash back if you lock $180,000 plus. You can only withdraw $290 a day. Are you kidding me? $290 a day. And here's
Hey.
the kicker. They cover a whopping 30 countries. 30.
Not to mention, too, what if Coinbase goes insolvent? You got your tokens on. Yeah, they go insolvent, you're fucked. You don't want your tokens locked up to where you have to be able to do all these practices.
We've talked about it.
No thanks.
We've talked about it so many times. Not your keys, not your crypto.
Yeah.
And you're good, Shadow Queen. I'm just teasing you tonight. Now let's talk about the card that everyone covets. The coveted card, right? Crypto.com. Everyone thinks that Crypto.com is the best thing to slice bread. I got a surprise for you, Crypto.com. You're about to get smoke checked. So, in the game of chess, this one is called checkmate. And let me explain why. No bank account. They will allow IBAN transfers. So congratulations, you can transfer large amounts from one bank to another if you're not currently staked. And, you got to be staked to use the cards. So I don't know how the IBAN transfer makes a lot of sense. They don't allow you to have multiple cards. You can get 4% cash back, but you have to have $400,000 or more locked up. You can only withdraw $1,000 a day. And they only cover 100 plus countries. Now, both of these are better than Binance. Absolutely. I hate to say it because I love Binance, but you guys got to up your game on the MasterCard. Now, let's talk about the Mac Daddy, the elephant in the room. What's that name right there? Oh shit, that looks like Shido to me. I mean, anyone want to confirm that? I just want to make sure that's the card we're talking about, right?
I can't quite make it out.
Can't quite make it out. All right, Shido.
Joking.
We offer you a bank account directly through Barclays. Anyone ever heard of Barclays Bank? Let me enlighten you.
Yeah, they only own an NBA team.
Okay.
Shoot. It's a side hustle.
This is the financial institution, ladies and gentlemen, that our MasterCard is going through. Barclays. One of the most prestigious, well-known banking institutions in the world. That's who we're partnered with. Let's be forefront and honest. We're not a prepay, and we're not just giving you opportunities through a centralized exchange. We are legitimately doing a KYB, which is know your business. It is a global bank. Exactly, Montes. Exactly.
I'm gonna give this. Like I said, I'm gonna give Barclays a little rub here. They own a share of an NBA team. That's how they roll. This is legit. That's a side hustle for them. All right.
Mm-hmm.
This is legit. This is legit business here. This is big legit business. This is not
some of the wealthiest
here, man.
Some of the wealthiest people in the world at Bank of Barclays. He's starting to see what I'm referring to. So unquestionably, let's go back. Your bank account is Barclays, global. U.S., all countries, global. IBAN transfers. Multiple cards. Think about this for a moment. You can open multiple accounts in your Shido wallet. Let's say, for example, my mom and dad. I want them both to have a card, and I can dictate how much money goes into those accounts. Or if I want to say, hey, we want to pull $1 million, but I don't want to wait 30 days to do it. Okay. IBAN transfer is up to $100,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had 10 cards, $100,000 IBAN transfers, $1 million in the account of my choosing, or $300,000 or whatever per month based on how many cards you have. So multiple cards. Cash back. You can get 6% cash back, but we only require you to lock up $30,000, and our lockup period is like 30 days. These ones, like 180, 120 days. It's crazy. Finance will give you 6%, but you got to lock up $75,000. We'll give you 6% for only a 30K lockup. We will allow you to withdraw $2,500 a day on unlimited cards, meaning you can have 15 cards withdrawing $2,500 a day. Let's just do some simple math. That's $37,500. That is my yearly salary right now in one day with 15 MasterCards. Jesus. And here's the crumb of the crop. We cover 158 countries. Nobody touches us. Guys, this is what I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen. When we talk about a cornerstone project, this is it. Go ahead, Arno.
Yeah, I wanted to go back and bring this back to my man Montez. You're talking about getting mass adoption, which I don't believe we need mass adoption to be successful. We just need a percentage. But you get mass adoption by having a competitive advantage against your competitors. And what we have here is a definite, clear, present competitive advantage over all other providers of on-off ramps for cryptocurrency. When this thing goes live, anybody that sees this is going to say to themselves, oh, I can do X, Y, Z, and I don't have to get, taxed this much. I'm not having all my crypto tied up. I'm not on exchange 24/7. I don't have to worry about that. And all I have to do is KYC to a third party, and that's it. The token party itself won't be reporting me every 5 seconds. Remember, you'll get reported for your bank transactions, not your crypto transactions. The banks will have nothing to do with that. Like, say if you're on Shido Dex and you're doing things, they don't see any of that. All they know that you put money on that on-ramp and they went into Shido's ecosystem. From that point on, they don't know jack. Can't say that about Coinbase. You get on Coinbase, start trading. They got track record, son, and they will report your ass.
Yeah, the bottom line here. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say you get mass adoption by having a competitive advantage over your competitors, and Shido's doing that.
Exactly, 100%. I want you guys to see this, right? So again, it goes back to when we're talking about just chill the hell out, relax. Your investment is safe. You're good. You're in great hands. This is why, guys. This is why.
You should clinch.
There's no concern. There's no concern. I don't care what the chart does in the short term of the next 30, 60, 90 days. I don't care. In fact, I want it to gain 3 more zeros. Why? Because I want that position. Please. If you're a mega whale and you're listening, do Valhalla a favor and dump that shit all over the ETH chart.
I'm going to have
right now.
That. I'm already good. I don't want to see it go down.
Dump it. Dump it so I can take your position because I'm waiting. Because I'm that confident. I'm that confident with what I see right here that I know it ain't gonna last. That's all I'm saying. For it to dump, to make a significant increase, it'd have to dump by a lot more. A couple $100 going in ain't gonna do jack to help. To help you, but I'm on a different chain where I can get that opportunity.
Let's go. Dude, I made my play.
I made my play too. I'm just saying, $1,600 adds 16 million. That still is a decent dent. Let's go. Bring it a little bit more. But
I can't swing that. And besides, I'm good. Let's go. You whales up.
And I'm being sarcastic. I really hope nobody does do that because I legitimately feel bad for you because you're screwing yourself. Don't do it. Don't do it. You saw what happened to the last whale. He got eaten by the sharks. He's gone.
Hey, man. I like to say, Valhalla, I gotta sell it so I can buy it. So I can sell it again.
I gotta sell it so I can buy some shit coin. It's gonna go to the moon.
Again.
God, man. Hey, so speaking of the MasterCard, if you haven't yet, please navigate yourself to Shido.io/card. I'm going to put it in chat. This is very, very important because the first 5,000 users, I think there's still a little bit of option here. This is almost close. I'm on this list. Arno's on this list. Shido Queen, Gigs, we're all on this list. Y'all better get on this list because I got no mercy if you don't. But you will get an exclusive Shido pattern for your MasterCard of choosing, and it's dope. So it's exclusive only. First 5,000 for the first rollout of cards are the only ones that are going to get this exclusive card. And all you got to do right now is get your email in there. Once your email is submitted, that's it. You just wait for an email saying claim this and start the process. So get your email in there. I've linked it to you. It's right there. Shido.io/card. Get it in there. Heck yeah, iPhone Cinco's on the list. I know you're on the list, man. You're in our private chat. Of course you're on the list.
Hey, what's up, Fonsino? How you doing, man?
Yeah, welcome, brother. Welcome. Now, we got one more big thing to talk about tonight. We dropped a lot of bombs. And I told you all we had a lot to talk about. So I hope you stayed. Because, man, told you. It just keeps on going. So we're going to talk about the strategy behind the Shido decks. A lot of people are asking, what's going on? What's going on with marketing? Where's it at? Well, I'm about to show you an example. This is what I call clever top-tier marketing, okay? So this is Dollar Moon. This happened today. You are going to start seeing a lot more of these coming. And I can tell you before I play this, I'm not going to name the community, but I can tell you one of the biggest crypto communities in DeFi just signed to Shido decks. I'm not telling you the name. I'm not telling you any more info than that, but I'm going to tell you the amount of exposure is going to blow your minds. One of the biggest communities will be trading on our platform. So, speaking of all that good stuff, let's take a look at how we're doing that. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. We are making promotional listing videos, and every project we list, they get immediate exposure from Shido, and they also do an announcement on their page. Their community and our community are now keenly aware. New Shido decks listing. We are happy to announce that Dollar Moon IO is now officially listed as a Shido decks partner. You can easily trade D-Moon as an exclusive default listing in our decentralized exchange. Now, this is super important because what default means is you don't have to go. You can trade any project on our decks, but you got to know how to do it. You got to go find the contract address, plug it in, add the custom token. Not everyone understands how to do this. Default is when you go into the decks, all these projects list right in front of you. And they're strategic in the projects that we're choosing, that we put in front of you. We are only putting the best projects that are currently building and doing what they should be doing in this market. D-Moon is one of those. Let's take a look at some other examples, because I do believe we had another one that just got launched. Oh, actually, before we do that, we're going to backtrack real quick. Here's the announcement for the exclusive, the pattern for the Visa MasterCard for the first 5,000. I'm going to play it real quick. So take a look at that dope pattern. That right there is what you're unlocking. First 5,000. And you can put that pattern on any card. 24 karat gold, gold plated, aluminum, plastic, whatever. But if you're in the top 5,000, you get this dope looking exclusive pattern. I want it. I can tell you that much.
Let everybody know that you were early adopter.
That's you damn straight.
Let them know that,
hey,
I Shido in 2024. I bought in 2024.
I bought in 2024. Here's another one for you. This is another cool project that I would encourage you guys to take a look at. This announcement came out today as well. So Dion Protocol is another one that is now on the default trading for Shido decks. I'm telling you guys, you were about to see multiple per day. and this is just going to continue. This isn't stopping. This is just straight full speed ahead. And I'm telling you, the big surprise when you guys see the massive community that we've just signed. Whoa, I'm telling you, if just 5% of their community trade on their decks, you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars of trading volume.
So you could just give us a little bit more on that. Like, what exactly for the people that benefit home? Like, give them a syllable. Where does it start with?
I can't, man. I can't.
Let's start with for people just to wet their whistle.
I can't. Let me.
I'm torturing them. I know.
I know you are. No, I can't, man. I can't. Naruto will kick my ass.
What's it gonna be? But no, let me go back to my man Stage Entertainment. That's the plan, buddy. The plan is to be able to get as many tokens interoperable between ERC, DEP, and then the subsequent chains to follow, and then SHI-20 going. That's the end game. The DEX is just a tool. All right, this ain't the end game. If you haven't noticed in the crypto space, DEXs are dropping like hotcakes. Everybody's got a DEX now because they're forks now. You can fork a DEX just like that now. It's about having atomic swaps. That's what you got to have. You have to be able to go in between contracts. You can't do that. You're just a copycat. And then there's no real competitive advantage. Remember, it's about having competitive advantage. There's no competitive advantage for anybody to use your ecosystem to get what they need. There's no fundamental use. Why would I go from Uniswap and PancakeSwap that's been tried and true to go use your little, or even Sushi Swap for that matter, which is a fork of Uniswap? Why would I go use yours way out in the boondocks that hasn't been tested, never heard of? Take a chance I might get my token stole off. Why don't I just go to an already true vetted, tried and true veteran of the space? There's no reason why you would, unless they're giving you the opportunity to go, oh, I can just link my wallet, get any token I want, any contract between ERC and BEP for right now, and then we expand. Why would you not want to use that and just stay on a single chain and hinder yourself on your trade? Because Shido, in my opinion, the real thing that Shido's going to do, in my opinion, is going to make people smarter traders. Because the real game changer for me is the trade aggregator that gives you real pricing in real time, and then you'll be able to take advantage of those prices because you'll have the ability to go ahead and do atomic swaps in the wallet on the DEX eventually. That's what's going to take the average. It's going to make the average investor, if they don't know already, at least feel like they're more competent. It'll give your learning curve that much. It'll make your learning curve that much greater and make it easier for you. You won't have to. It won't be like me when I first came into the space. It was like, man, I came into the space before Uniswap even launched. So imagine what that was like. I had to go on exchanges and play that game. That's how I learned. Way back in the boondock days, there wasn't no atomic swaps back then. It was all single chain. That was all you could do. You had to learn how to get a token, send it here, sell it off, send it to this contract, do it there, and that was, man, frightening. When you're brand new, that is frightening. You're going from hash to hash, putting in new contracts, things like that, going from different exchanges, not knowing what token to buy to get into another token, not knowing what peggings mean. It's scary. Shido was taking all that away and pushing the space forward to where it needs to go and making it into a one-stop shop. And I'm telling you right now, you're going to want to be on the right side of this baby when it gets going.
Well, Shadow Queen is dropping. She's dropping info, so to the hell with it. One that's coming tomorrow as well is Travlad's project. King Finance will be listed on Shido Dex tomorrow. That's not the biggest community, though. I'm not giving you secrets on that one, but that partnership and that listing is coming to Shido Dex.
Right.
Now, one more thing to talk about before we get into this last little segment on marketing. I want to highlight the blockchain because we all know the blockchain is the bread and butter, right? So, massive milestone for Shido Chain. We have this week running nodes on AWS, and we have performed transactions. Shido StageNet is completed. We are working towards alpha testing. Why don't you break that down for everybody, Arno? Oh, we lost it. He's probably reconnecting. So I know, Shadow Queen. I'm teasing you. While Arno reconnects here, basically, what that is telling you guys. I'll play the video here. Nice little intro video for it. There's the man, the myth, the legend. There's the Arno.
The Arno. Uh-oh.
Welcome
Now
back.
I'm an entity now. The Arno.
The Arno. So
The
no,
Arno.
hey, as I was saying before you disconnected on me so rudely, I read out here some massive milestone for Shadow Chain. We have this week been running nodes on AWS, and we have performed transactions. Shadow Stage Net is complete. We are working towards Alpha Testnet. Why don't you go ahead and give the audience a little taste about what you're talking about?
You know what, Valhalla? I have so much respect for how far you've come in your journey. I want you to explain this. I want you to explain to them why this matters, because I believe in you.
Okay, so long story short, when you are successfully testing nodes, you have officially established your test net. We are rolling forward for the alpha net. So the way this was designed was to go alpha test net, and then I believe beta, followed by main net launch. The fact that Bjorn and the team, in the short amount of time that they've been developing this project, are already testing nodes on AWS, and they have already completed and performed transactions, tells me that the blockchain is a lot farther in development than we initially thought it was. That is some insanely bullish news. And for anybody that's sitting here that's questioning this investment or doesn't truly understand what She20 is going to do for you, Arno said it multiple times. This coming Thursday, we have an AMA with Bjorn. Guess what he's talking about? Validators. The roadmap to be a validator. And he's talking about the fees and the structure of She20. Testnet's coming this month. Or, I'm sorry, AlphaNet is coming this month. I can taste it.
I can't add any more to that. I told you. Valhalla knows, man. It's gotten to the point to where you can just sum this stuff up and like it's pretty much in the bag. All right. When you start hearing words like stage and alpha, you better get your ass. I'm just saying, bruh.
You better get your ass ready.
Let's just thank you, Montez. Yes, alpha already. Yes.
Yes, bro. Yes.
In my best Denzel voice, hell yeah. Hell yeah, motherfucker. Shit. It's coming.
The bottom line. This team is not playing games. Okay. You got the 1.5 update for the wallet that's going to introduce cross-chain. That's coming in 1.5. All indicators are pointing to that. It's going to flush out connectivity. You got cross-chain coming live. You got 2.0, which is probably going to build the shell for that's the word I'm looking for. Integration into the wallet. I'm like, tongue twister. So right now, the DEX is web-based, right? Right now, the DEX is web-based. The Perpetual is web-based. The 2.0 build is a complete rebuild of the wallet. Why else would you be rebuilding the wallet if you were not building in the fundamental infrastructure to import the DEX and the Perpetual? There's no other reason to do an overhaul other than that.
People, it's you have to think about when I say months away. Do you know how short a time period a couple of months is?
Oh,
people,
God.
when people think, oh, months, oh man, are you kidding me? This project has done so much in the little time. And you have to understand that technology always makes the next tech come that much faster. I remember it took atomic swaps And it's like the whole idea of having a swap on a single chain was came up with the idea in 2013. It took it about, I believe, from 2013. It launched in 2017. Okay, that's essentially because it came with that's essentially around a 5 year gap where that development went on just to get Uniswap up and running. Think about that. That's just for a single chain DEX. 5 years to develop that at that time because it was a brand new idea. This idea that, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we could trade in real time every single token on the ERC-20 contract? Huh? How that could never happen. That would never happen. Now look at it. It's
Right.
the way of the world now. Now the next tech that comes after that, now development time, we already have we have the do's and don'ts of learning from of that process. It puts cross chain into information that much faster. New tech always makes the next tech get developed that much faster. So I say months away. Well, it's kind of built in because everything that's happened in crypto has led to this moment. It was just a natural progress. So
Right.
yeah, alpha testnet is around the corner.
MasterCard's around the corner.
Right.
1.5 around the corner. Mass integration around the corner. Come on, guys. I'm telling you right now, by July of 2023, you're right. July 4th in America we're celebrating, but I think July 1, the entire globe is going to be celebrating if you're in Shido Global, because it is about to be. I can't even guess. I can't even fathom what July is going to be like.
The amount of wealth that's going to take place just at 50 million market cap is going to be insane. You're going to have people. You're going to have millionaires being minted before we even get there. That's number one. And then once we get to 100 million market cap, like these are all like infinitesimal amounts of money in your ecosystem, especially when you start talking about all the utilities that's going to be basically driving this thing forward. Because I can't say this enough, and I know I've said it 1,000 times. Brothers and sisters, holding their crypto across the world hand in hand is not what's going to make this price go. It's going to be the utility stress on the token 24/7, 365 that pushes it forward.
Yep.
Swaps.
Well,
Obviously. The swaps. Number one. Let me go down the list of things real quick. Just want to hammer this home.
No, you get it.
The swaps on DEX. That's number one. That's number two. And then the blockchain. With all the things that goes on in that ecosystem, you can just go ahead and extrapolate from other projects like Ethereum, Avalanche, Solana. Pick a project. There are so many templates you can draw conclusions from on what's going to happen with Shadow Chain. It'll make your head spin. And then when you understand that we're going to be doing all this stuff in real time, all at one big thing, I think the so-called quote unquote setbacks is a good thing for our price. Because what's going to happen is you're going to have all of these utilities being launched out at the same time, and it's just going to lead to a big price swell. So I'm actually kind of, in retrospect, I'm kind of glad it happened. I'm glad it happened because we're going to have a run up that's going to be so ginormous, and there's not going to be a pullback because it's going to be by virtue of the utility of why the price is going up, not from people buying the token. It's just euphorically.
Yeah, no, I couldn't say any better, man. I want to make sure that wasn't just a temporary pause. The other part I would put in there too. Everybody lately has been on this kick about centralized exchanges. Oh my God, we need CEXs. I had a guy in my DMs tonight. Granted, bless his heart, English is not his first language. He's a foreigner, and he firmly believes that a centralized exchange is the solution to Shadow. And I spent 45 minutes explaining to him that the utility, the governance, the blockchain, the wallet, the cross-chain, the DEX, and the Perpetual, all integrated into one piece of technology, which is that wallet, minus the blockchain, obviously. Well, I guess the blockchain would kind of be because you'll be able to interact with it. The point here is that all of that combined is what's going to send Shadow to the moon, not a centralized exchange. Yes,
and
we
then
are targeting exchanges.
Right. And then the tokenomics in play where we have our buyback and burns of 30% on all revenue on a tax of 0.3 on all transactions on DEX. When you put that in context against cross-chain swaps, and then you put that in the fact that you're going to have on-ramp money coming in to go against those swaps, and then the perpetual, you take all of that revenue and you just try that on a man. Bjorn has come out and said this will be done on a weekly basis, up to 1 to 3 times a week, per his decision before they go automate it down the line. It's going to be done forever. And remember, when you're doing buyback and returns, it's about the revenue chasing the price, not the price chasing the revenue. Meaning that the tokens that will go out by virtue of how much they're worth. So as that token gets more expensive, fewer tokens go out the door. But guess what? Your price is far higher. That's the great thing. I'll be happy when I wake up and I see that $3 million doesn't get that much Shido in buyback. I'll be a happy man. When $3 million worth on a buyback only gets you, say, what? 300,000 tokens, because that's going to be a great day. When $3 million gets you 300,000 Shido, woo! It's down the road, but that day will come when $3 million buyback only gets you 300,000 Shido.
It's coming sooner than you think. And so that's what I'm saying. Like,
that's a pretty lofty number, though. Think about it: 30,000 Shido at $3 million. That's a big number.
All right, that's probably a few years down the road, but
that's what I'm saying,
there will come a day.
That will happen.
The other aspect of this too, right? Let's tie it back to the conversation about centralized exchanges. We are not chasing tier 3 and tier 2 exchanges. We want nothing to do with a tier 3 or a tier 2 mediocre exchange. I'm sorry. If you are in those categories, Shadow Finance, Shadow Global is not interested. Here's the reason why. We're going zero tax for a reason. I've said this 100,000 times, and I will say it 100,000 times more. If there's one exchange that I am watching, waiting for, it's Binance, and I'm going to say why. All roads to Shadow lead to Binance. Let's talk about it. What does Binance want in projects they list? Well, Binance looks for projects that are actually benefiting the DeFi space. What's Shadow doing? Well, we're changing, irreparably changing the DeFi space. Our MasterCard, our DEX, our Perpetual, our wallet, our liquidity aggregator, which guarantees you the best price, the ability to do limit orders right on your phone in your goddamn wallet, peer-to-peer trading, and the blockchain. All of that has got CZ Binance. You know for a fact CZ knows about Shido. If you think for a moment that CZ Binance is not like the Dark Lord Sauron who sees all, trust me, and I don't mean to compare him to Sauron, but I'm telling you, the man sees all. And I guarantee you he knows about Shido Global. So let's think about that. Bjorn wants Shido to go to zero tax. What's a requirement for Binance? Zero tax token. What's another requirement for Binance? No reflections. Think about that, meme coins. Y'all keep talking about Binance, but you got reflections built into your contract. Never going to happen. Third requirement is fully fleshed out working utility that actually benefits the crypto space. Swaps, we don't need any more swaps. We don't need any more multi-call swaps. We have enough of those. We need change and integration. That's cross-chain. That's liquidity aggregators. That's perpetuals and dexes integrated into a wallet. That's Shido Global. So, without further ado, when I tell you that all roads lead to Binance, it's just like back in the day, back in the ancient era, when all roads in Europe led to Rome. They did. You were in the Western world, all roads led to Rome. In the DeFi world, all roads are not only leading to Shadow, but lead you directly to Binance. There will come a day, and I'm not saying that Binance is coming anytime soon. I'm not going to be that guy that gets everyone. No, not even going there, and I definitely won't be crying on the live stream. My point is Binance will come. There will come a time. We are chasing exchanges like that. Binance, Coinbase, Crypto.com, KuCoin, Kraken. those level of exchanges, the Gate.io, other exchanges out there that are decent, that have good quality volume, that are tier ones, those are what Shido's eyeballing. We are not eyeballing tier 2 and tier 3. Just not happening. Bittrex, we ain't calling the Bittrex pub. Not happening with Shido Global. We are looking for good quality tier 1s. Why? Because it builds trust and it offers maximum exposure. The Shido dev team know
That's
what the hell they're doing.
that in perspective, exposure.
Exactly.
This like centralized exchanges is not going to be again. It goes back to this: the whole brothers and sisters holding hands with their crypto around across the world. Get it? If you're bringing that mentality and looking for a big pump, this is not what this is. This is about a project that is irreparably pushing the space forward and where it needs to do to get completely decentralized and offer people basically what I call the new avant-garde of financial aesthetic. If I can use some big words, that's what it is. This is a new financial art form. Decentralized trade options. It's never been done until now. Fuck stocks. Fuck your little 5% movements in 5 years of holding a freaking stock. When you can come into crypto and do perpetual lens with no freaking broker in your way. Nobody knows your name. You can go in there and long and short the heck out of every token in the space at your choosing. At various lending positions. With ours, it'll be 200x. I'm pretty sure going forward, there will be others that will do the same. I know KuCoin already has theirs now, where you can go ahead and do their lending positions there. This is where the space is going. Decentralized trade options is the new frontier for finance. It just is. The old way of doing things is going to die out. This is where we're going. Anybody that doesn't see that is going to miss the boat, and you're going to be kicking yourself saying, boy, why didn't I put money in back in 2020, such and such? Boy, when your grandkids like, man, I wish I could go back in time and tell my grandfather to buy this token. That's what they'll say. That's what your grandkids will say to you. I know that's what I would tell my grandfather, like, I wish I could go back and tell him to go back and buy Apple back in the 70s and stuff, in the 60s and stuff like that. Can't do it though. He didn't, they didn't have the mindset for it. That's just how it is. But getting on exchanges, it's nice. It's a good thing for exposure, but it's not fundamental to the process of your token doing its job and what Shilo's going to be doing. Again, the main concerns for crypto: on-off ramps, check. Cross-chain swaps, check. Decentralized options for people to add liquidity to various tokens, check. And then perpetual lending, check. They're covering all these boards, covering all these concerns. Those are the four major drivers in crypto that are going to drive value, and they are spearing it forward. I don't know what else to tell you. You can't see that.
Hey, if you want a good laugh, take a look at the image that I just sent you. All you got to do is take a look at the hidden function section of it, and yeah, we'll let that speak for its own terms. Last thing I want to cover tonight is, again, talking about publications and the way that Shido is starting to do its marketing. How many of you knew that Shido ran an article on Yahoo Finance? Well, we did. February 3rd, 2023. I'll read it to you. Shido launches next generation, here's the most important part, cross-chain DeFi ecosystem and crypto trading and lending platform. Think about how powerful that statement is. Yahoo Finance, read by millions of people. Millions of people read Yahoo Finance. We just put that front and center. Arno?
I'm just reading what you sent me here.
Oh.
Do you want me to talk about this publicly, or you want to just do this in house?
We're not on this stream. No.
That's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm saying. I'm looking at this, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, that's No, that's one we'll take a look at and figure out.
Talking about that on stream, man. You're not gonna get me. You're not gonna get me arrested.
No, I'm curious on that. So, but no. Outside of that, though, let's talk about right there, right? Boom. Shido launches next generation cross-chain DeFi ecosystem and crypto trading platform, right on Yahoo Finance.
Probably nothing. Someone is somebody once said, but it's hey man, I'm not a hype guy. Okay, I'm all about the facts and everything and stuff, but usually when things start getting apparently obvious is when it becomes starting to be too late. In my opinion, for the average working man, getting a strong position in Shadow already is. It's like trying to move a mountain up a hill now. This thing is so expensive now, even to me. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't. The position that I have now, I couldn't afford. There's just no way. There's just no way. Like even with the so-called, oh, it dumped. Yeah, it dumped. Yeah, really? You think? Look at the lifetime chart. I ain't. It ain't dump on me. You only saying that because you just probably bought recently, and your perspective is all skewed. But you take a look at if you took a look at the entire lifetime of the project, this thing hasn't really dumped ever. It's gotten to new higher highs, and once it gets there, it never really revisits those territories. Like when's the last time you seen Shadow at 4 zeros and a 1? That wasn't a rhetorical question. You can respond.
Sorry, no, yeah, no, I was
responding.
No, exactly. 4 zeros and a 1. It's not happening, man. It's not happening. But it's just when you're seeing stuff like this, you're starting to see these type of publications coming out. That's your sign, right? This is the moment that people have been asking to see is this type of marketing. Well, here it is. Publications are going out all over the place. You're going to see more and more of this. You're going to see more and more targeted marketing. I talked about getting on the Bobby Bybot again, getting marketing out on that front. We got publications going out. There's a lot of stuff that's happening behind the scenes that they're timing around this market. So. Hang on one second. I gotta finish typing this one here. Okay, I'm back. But yeah, no, I wanted to end tonight talking about the marketing aspect and really showing everybody what's happening because Shadow is getting serious. We're at that point now where the marketing is coming into play. Everything is starting to fall in line. The bull run's coming, the marketing, the DEX, Perpetual, the cross-chain integration. Everything is all starting to come into play. I don't know what more to say other than that.
Yeah.
Well, it's going on 11 o'clock my time, which I know is 1 a.m. your time. Why don't we close it out for the night? Final thoughts, man. What do you got for me, Arna?
Well, I'm gonna close off talking about both Cubase and Shido. Again, I want to reiterate what Cubase is doing. I think it's a wonderful opportunity. For me, it's a secondary hold, but I think it's going to do some pretty wonderful things. It will be a Shadow Chain project, which is another thing I'm excited about. I'm gonna give it to you straight as an investor. 850 million tokens. It's a fractionary price. It will be conducting its own launch pad for projects, meaning that they will have to buy the token to functionally use their launch pad. And those tokens then, when bought, will be burnt off. That will push the price up forward. Okay, that's what you need to understand. If you want to know more about it, go check it out at cubebase.net. That's cubebase.net. I believe that Valhalla put the listing down there in the what's it called again? The YouTube comments.
The information section down below.
Info along with the contract address and the white paper down there on the website as well. Really easy to find. And you can join the Telegram group. The dev is really, really approachable. I've been talking with him for the last several days. He's really approachable and very, very. He's got a, he's kind of like a Bjorn. He's matter of fact kind of guy and says it like how it is. No BS. And in regards to Shido, again, guys, people, if I've been doing this for like the last, how long been doing these videos for the last 3-4 months? I don't know. It's feel like it doesn't even feel that long to me since I've been in this project. I've been in this project since September 1st when I made the legendary move in my life. I think it's going to change my life. And I can tell you, the time that I've spent in this project in these last several months has felt like a matter of weeks to me. Everything has been moving so fast that it'll make your head spin. Anybody that's having any type of misgivings about price movement, get yourself educated, get on the website, learn about what these words mean, learn about what cross-chain swaps mean, learn about how on and on ramps affect a token. Go look at other comparisons. Go look at crypto.com, what did for Crow. Look at what their on ramp did for their token, how it funnels money into their ecosystem, what it does for them, and how they can do on their trading database. We're not going to be like them because we're not going to have any of that centralized exchange policy. But nonetheless, that compartment has done a lot for them in on and off ramps. We're going to be having that, but against cross-chain swaps, against ERC20 and BEP20, and then the subsequent chains to follow. And then everything going on with perpetual lending, which is just like shorting and longing stocks. It's the same exact policy. Don't let the words throw you off. It's just big words. It's shorting and longing a stock. And shorting and longing in crypto is the same thing. You're just doing it in smaller increments of time. That's all it is. But you have leverage positions too, just like you would do in the stock world. If you have any questions about that, look up the words collateralized cryptocurrency loans. That will teach you everything you need to know about perpetual lending. Keeping it simple. And just, the price movement recently was by the rumors, southern news from the DEX that people took completely out of context. If the DEX came out and it was just going to be just that, then you should not have gotten excited anyway. If it was just going to be a multi-call, the DEX is just the framework for what is coming. And that is a cross-chain DEX that will once done will be implemented and put into the wallet so it can be standard for anybody to just download off Apple. Remember, Apple or iOS and Android and Apple. You'll be able to download this wallet and be able to load money and then cross-chain at your own desire. I can't tell people enough how much of a game changer that alone is going to be, but then you start adding in the blockchain and what's going on with that. And I implore everybody to not miss this Thursday's AMA where Bjorn will unveil the new tokenomics for the Shadow Chain. You want to make sure you're there for that. And going forward, educate yourself and know what's going on with the project. Understand that there are pros and cons to buying on BNB as well as ETH, but at the end of the day, both tokens will rise. Yes, you have the fees on ETH, you have fees on BNB, and the BNB fees are going to be lower because their blockchain doesn't have the same tokenomics that ETH has. But you have to go ahead and decide what is the best for your situation. Obviously, if you're going on BNB and you're doing staking, you probably would want to go on BNB because it's going to be better for you because the fees are much more predictable. If you're on ETH and you want to stake, if you have the ability to afford those fees and you just like that, then go ahead and go there. That's up to the personal decision. There is no real right or wrong way. It's about your personal situation. Take the time to just go ahead and make plays that best suit them and understand what this project's going to be doing. And I just think Shido right now is at the point where we have the stage net now for the blockchain, and we're getting ready to go into alpha pretty soon. And I'm telling you, people, June, July will be here before you know it. And the face of this project will be totally different in a couple of matter of months. And that's all I got to say about that. I pass it to you.
Hey, I'll give a shout out to this buyer right here. Somebody just topped off on the ETH side, $838 buy. Again, like I told you, these prices are not going to stick around. This individual just secured themselves another 8.3 million tokens. So, congratulations. Yeah, no, echoing what Arno said tonight. Yeah, sorry, that yawn's coming where I wanted to or not. There's a lot happening. There is just is our 15th episode. If you think about this, we do it once a week, right? So that's what, 4, 8, 12. What is that ding noise in the background, Arno? Good lord, what are you doing?
I'm messaging you. That's on me. I gotta go ahead and turn my mic down.
Oh, I was like, my ears are dying. Thank you.
That's on
You're
me.
good,
I
man. Thank you, buddy.
just 9 technology.
Yeah, it's all good, man. I thought you were maybe playing the drums on a pot and pan. I was like, what in the hell is happening over there? While Arno is typing to me, no, guys. The point here, Shido is no longer cheap. This dip is getting eaten up. This whale, the position is literally being taken. I am breaking down in yawn, so I'm going to wrap this one up. But my final thoughts for you guys, just like Arno said, Cubase looks like an amazing project on BNB. BUSD rewards, it's fantastic. It's a launchpad, it's a blockchain. Go check it out. Alcazar is my baby. I encourage you to go take a look. James is like Bjorn. He is an incredibly transparent, down-to-earth developer who is just wanting to give people an opportunity. And it's a fantastic opportunity. So, head down to the info section on this video. The contracts for both projects are there for Alcazar for ETH and BNB, Cubase for BNB. Websites are listed. Go DYOR. Go pull up the white paper. Go read the project. Take a look. We're no longer in a bear market. We've had the golden cross. We've risen above the 250-day moving average. We've held it. We've broke it. And price is continuing to move. You're going to wake up and you're going to see Bitcoin climb to 33, 34,000, 50,000, and it's just going to continue. The rocket is fueling. We're on the launch pad. The countdown has started. Your opportunities to secure big positions is closing. That window is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Shido is making all the right plays. It is out here developing amazing marketing tactics. The DEX listings, like I said, there's a massive community listing coming. There's way more listings on the way. You're going to start seeing these pretty much daily coming out of the dev team. We've got a couple tier 1 centralized exchanges that are watching our project. They're wanting to see us continue to build and continue to do what we are doing. Conversations on the backside have already been ongoing and are going, but there are NDAs involved. So there will be no details, there will be no dates, there will be no expectations of a listing until they announce us. All I can tell you as a representative of Shido on this point, and all Arno will tell you, is the exact same thing. There are NDAs in place, and we cannot tell you anything more than that. But there are a couple tier 1s, and that should be enough to get you excited. Outside of that, you've got alpha testnet of the blockchain. You've got 1.5 bringing cross-chain integration to the wallet, which is what we have been waiting for. You've got more fine-tuned updates. You have a 2.0 complete overhaul, which, if I had to make an educated guess, is because they are ready to integrate the DEX and the Perpetual in the wallet. There'd be no other reason to do a complete overhaul. You've got consistent updates to the website. We have a whole new roadmap. Go check out the roadmap. It literally shows you the plan all the way through 2023 into 2024. There is just a lot of bullish stuff happening in Shido, and I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you've hung out for this AMA. This is probably one of the longest ones we've had, but there was a lot to cover, from price movement of Bitcoin to price action on BNB and ETH for Shido. The time is now. The time is now to solidify your positions. Your window's closing. Get locked in. Get ready, because we're going to have a hell of a run over the next 2 years, and amazing things are about to happen. So with that, oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, I can't name this either, but I can give you a little bit more info. We are in the process of signing a major YouTube influencer, exclusive to Shido. So there's even more marketing coming. Get excited, guys. The dev team is doing it right. They're listening to what you're asking for, and they're making plays where they make sense. So, Arno, got anything else to add before we end it out here?
Just to check your DM before you go to bed so we can talk. And I'm pretty much good. I'm satisfied. How about you guys out there?
I'm good, man. I think it's been a very informative, great AMA, and we'll do it again next Tuesday. We'll see everybody then.
All right.
All right, guys. Take care and have a wonderful night. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I hope this was informative, and I hope you took something from this. And if there's anything you took from it, is have peace of mind with your investments. They're safe in Shido. They're safe in Alcazar. They're safe in Cube. These are investments that they're gonna make you money. They're not gonna wreck you, and you're safe here. There's a lot happening. There's a lot more coming. Just be patient as we get there. All right, I'm signing her out. Take care, guys.
Later, guys.